What's
up,
going on,
Rod?
Gary? What's
Just
going
over
on?
here. Just over here, chilling, stretching out.
Oh, yeah, stretch it out. Happy 2026. Is Troy A's number one?
Is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
I got the Newberry house watching.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, there is Troy. He says, "What's up?"
What's up, Troy and Jim?
There's Jim Lauer. Hello, Jim. Jim, how much snow did y'all get in Salina? Larry Hunt. Larry Hunt, you're not the first comment.
No,
Troy
comment.
Aves treed you.
First, Troy A's first one for 2026, episode 107. Mark it down.
Goose is here. You know, Goose is here.
Goose. Oh, stretch.
What are you wearing, Rodney?
Well, I got a little something in the mail. I woke up and there was a live hog on my front porch. And,
was it hanging from the back of your trailer? No,
it was not. It was tied to the bench on the front porch. And with the note that said turbo. And so I don't know if that's how much the turbo cost or if that's a gift or what. But got a little something there.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Harper, no news. Harper is here.
All right. Oh, hey, Mr. Harper. How are you?
Nice cup.
Nice cup. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Harper.
I failed. I got my big drink full of water, and I'm almost out of Crown, so I had to do water. Is it cold in your shop? Is that why you're wearing that big old coat?
It is. I'm not cold at all. You know, I got this nice coat on.
I can't. I'm cold.
Yeah.
Because I can't afford to turn the heat on.
No.
Because them Suburban engines are terribly expensive.
It's terribly expensive.
So I got no monies.
Yeah.
But I got a nice coat. What do we? Troy says, "Be here to support my billet Hemi brother with his family car." Jeez, what a sentence, man!
Yep.
My billet Hemi brother.
He's coming on. We're going to talk about it. Talk about someone spending money, Gary. The heat bill. I think you just mentioned. I think we got him on standby.
He definitely has the heater on.
Yeah, he could have built 3 small houses, for that billet engine.
He could.
Yeah.
There's Barry Peter.
What's up, Barry?
Goose says, "Oh wait, am I on the right podcast? I don't recognize you two guys."
Oh yeah, you don't recognize this coat right here?
It's like I gotta stretch it over here.
You gotta stretch it out. There you go. Stretch out your coat there. Yeah, there you go. Whoa! Don't break the mic.
I had a cramp in my back. I got it.
Yeah, you get it. Good.
Yeah.
Hey,
yes.
Speaking of Goose, isn't there something coming up for that guy? Is there something special around the corner for that guy right there in Missouri?
There is. I should have put a special screen together, but we'll just go ahead and announce it anyway, Rodney.
Let's do it. Let's announce it right now.
Tomorrow, May 12th, is
Goose's birthday. Woo! Happy birthday, Goose. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but Goose told me he's turning 51.
51?
51.
That needs an applause, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be 51. And he showed me he's got 3 new cows. One's name's Pushrod, one's name's Piston, and one's name is Rods. All that meant, but that's what he told me.
I have to get
Happy birthday, Goose.
You have to give me some cows.
Yep. Cool.
Jim said they had an inch up there.
We didn't get nothing, did we?
No, barely a few flakes and maybe 10 flakes to a brick, if that.
Yeah, if that. Yeah, this coat sure is nice and warm. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm getting warm. I'm gonna have to peel it off.
Yeah. To be honest with you, we might have to sell them so they can get some their shocks fixed.
Man, no kidding.
Yeah. Everything was everything was totally fine. Everything was totally fine. And then Goose is like, hey, let me do some tuning on the rear shocks. And then there you go.
Well, I didn't tell you, but I had a new big billet Hemi on order. I ordered one.
Right.
And then I saw that shock and it's like, you know what? Them things are really rough on parts.
Right.
I canceled it. I can't be that rough on parts, dude.
No,
so I'll just have to stick to the Suburban engines.
Yeah. Well, and yours is about done too. So that's good stuff.
Just about, man. There's Doug Perry. Hi, guys. Hey, Doug.
Doug, thanks for joining in.
Harper says no snow in Arc City.
I know it. Then
good. My wife wanted like a foot of snow. She's crazy.
You on something? Dang.
She's crazy.
Crazy, I say.
Can we officially say we live in the United States of IHRA?
Oh my goodness. Are you serious, Gary? Every time I turn my phone on and, it was just popping up. Bought a new track. The St. Jude deal, that was just over the top.
10 million, right? Is that 10 million they donated?
Yeah.
Woo, man. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Everything they're doing is just rocket ship over the top.
Over the top. Super cool. Yeah, we need to call Daryl and have us be the official podcast of the IHRA because apparently he don't know how to write a check under $1 million. And so
that's right.
We'll just take 1 million. That'll be fine.
We got room. Hey, this carbon background you see, we'll just change the whole thing to the IHRA logo for the background.
That's it. Yeah, we can just make that happen.
Yeah, that'd be easy to do.
Yeah.
Mrs. Harper says, take Tiffany to Colorado if she wants lots of snow. I will not take her to go any snow. I do not want nothing to do with any snow. I will pass. I'll get her an Uber. No
snow for Gary.
No. I am fine without snow. I catch his comment. Larry Hunt says, marked safe today from IHRA purchase headlines on Facebook.
I agree. They still got 4 hours Central. They still got 4 hours Central time.
Golly, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It'd be interesting to see where they go next.
Yeah. Well, they have a groundbreaking ceremony in Memphis.
Yep.
Man, what else do they do? Holy cow.
It's been 3 weeks since we was on here and they did a lot of stuff.
Well, I think we got some cool things to show them too, didn't we?
Yeah. They wrote a lot of checks the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I agree with that.
There's Clayton Boyer. What's up, Clayton Boyer?
Good seeing him coming on. Wonder if Larry Hunt got a deer, you know what I mean?
God, I know. I want some deer sticks, Larry. Man.
All right.
Do you think anybody notices anything different about our border?
Yeah, I think we got some special additions onto our board 2026. The phone kept ringing. You know what I mean? The phone kept ringing. Hello, hey, can I come on your board? Can I be on the board? I want to help you guys this year. I was like, all right, we'll see if we got any space. We had to do a drawing, do a lotto pick. And that's what we came up with. But you ready to show them off?
Yeah. I will move us. You want to, tell them what we're going to do. We're going to highlight each one each week.
That's what we're going to do. And so, as you've seen before, we've been there before. Gary shows the board and we go over thanking our marketing partners, but we decided to as well. So each week we're going to do a special shout out. So, just AI, the interweb, everything kind of made up a little thing, a little background to talk about them. We're going to kick it off with old Harry Street because, he's the one that kicked it off before, right? Makes sense. He went out with that. And so I got a little write up here. Let me read it to you. So Harry Street Carpet started back in 1950 with little more than determination, family grit, and shoestring budget. What began as a small shop soon started expanding as a neighborhood building where were added on. Eventually, it grew to 16,000 square feet over several years. And then, the business kept growing by 2014. It was time for something bigger, and we broke ground on a full city block facility, 40,000 square feet of modern yet simple space design to meet the needs of the customers while staying true to his grassroots. In the early years, folks often called Harry Street the little store that could. Through recessions, challenges, and changes in industry, Harry Street Carpet kept moving forward. To this day, we rely on flashy. We do not rely on flashy advertisement, and more on what matters most: word of mouth, happy customers who keep coming back. Side note: I've had several things in my house done by Harry Street Carpet, tile and carpet. A little thing here to finish this up. It says, even though we've grown into a much larger, more modern facility, we still treat our customers the same way we did in 1950, with honesty, care, and appreciation. Then a word from the president, Chris Maybrower, says, there is no one we'd like to thank more than past, present, and future clients. None of this would have been possible without you. A little shout out to Chris. So a little clap it up for Harry Street there, Gary. You got the applause button there?
I do, right here.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks a ton, Maybrier family and Harry Street Carpet family and employees for being a partner with us on our little podcast. Thank you very much.
Nice.
And we're going to do this each time with a different partner each week.
Yeah.
We got 8 of them to go through, so and we'll show these here and run through them real quick. Titans of 10.5, the fastest small tire series in the Midwest. CMB, Chuck's Metal Buildings and Construction. They are a new partner with us this year. Harry Street Carpet. Ozark Raceway, another new partner with us this year. Thank you, Ozark Raceway. Mobile Recon Mobile Detailing. Ultra Color Collision Repair. TNS Race Cars. And Sandlin Iron and Metal. Thank you so much to these partners for jumping on board with us in the new year, 2026.
Man,
yes,
nice job, Gary. It's going to be awesome.
And we got room for more.
Oh yeah,
we got some black spots.
I feel another one coming. You know what I mean? I don't want to. We're not calling anybody, but I feel another one coming. We'll see.
Yep, we'll see.
What is that, Jim Robinson? Are you serious?
Oh, I've seen that. Jim says, hey, guys, guess it's you two or the Golden Globe Awards.
Oh, so we won out. Race cars for the win.
Well, he didn't say he's watching us.
Oh, no. I figure he was since he was on.
He might have typed that and went back to the TV.
Yeah. Who's these guys, right? Yeah.
Thanks, Jim. Yep. Well, let's truck on with some stuff here.
Get it started, then we'll bring
get on the since we just talked about our marketing partners, and a comment popped in here. Nick, man, I'm not going to say your last name, Nick. What's up, Gary? That's a guy from work at Globe Engineering. What's up, Nick? I would smash your last name, so I'm not even going to try it, Nick. Sorry. So let me go back here. One of our partners we just mentioned, Ultra Color Collision Repair, did a super fantastic fine job on fixing Eric Knott's Mustang. He had a little bang up job at Tulsa back in September, and man, you can't even tell.
Can't even
picked
tell.
It up today, right? Did you pick it up today?
Yeah, they picked it up today. I was there on Thursday looking this thing over and giving Jason one of the championship pictures that I made. And that car was sitting there, and I was like, holy cow, where? I mean, he's like, yeah, we replaced the quarter of the quarter right there and blended it all in. And that color is black too. So you know how hard that is. And, but it looks like it hadn't been touched. Of course, motor training, everything's still in there, and they took it home today. So hats off to Ultra Color, man. I bet it was a great weekend for Eric, getting his back home and everything. So excited to see this car back out.
That's a super nice Suburban engine powered Mustang right there, right?
Oh, that's a small block Ford, sir.
Oh man, that's right. It is.
Yeah, he wants to go fast.
He wants to go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a super killer clean car, man. It's real nice.
Yep.
Larry Hunt says Titans is excited to be partnering with you guys in 2026. Going to be an awesome year for small tire racing. This podcast is huge in our little series. Man, Larry, thank you, bud.
Thank you, Larry.
Be real nice if you get a deer, and we got some deer sticks.
Yeah. Hey, Larry, this Bucky's for you. It's official.
Don't tease him with no Bucky's. He'll just go there.
Springfield, I got to show off my present from Mr. and Mrs. Harper. You know what I mean?
He'll just drive there.
I know, right? He could probably see Bucky's from his house.
Yeah, it's like the bat signal in the air. There's a beaver in the sky.
There you go. Cool.
All right, you're up next. What do you got going on? You got some winter maintenance?
Yeah, this just real quick. I during shutdown or holiday break, I took the tranny apart, looked it over, went through it, checked all the clearances on the clutches, put it back together, had it out, put it back in about 30 hours, all done. So it was good stuff there. I always like doing this. This is my little servicing, if you will. And she's already back in. So got the converters freshened up and heard some feedback from Mark this week. So that was pretty cool too. And,
did you have any trouble with the transmission? I mean, you didn't need my help for anything, really? I mean,
no, I didn't.
Phone didn't ring, so I guess you got it.
I know, right? I mean, usually I need something or I need this, and no, it all worked out good. I was glad to see this too, and those clutches, man. I mean, they've been in there 3 years. It's still all within tolerance, so I'm good. High guard for the win.
Well, if you didn't call me for Powerglide help, then you got the help that I could provide, which was none.
That's like me helping you weld, right? That's like your micro switch. I saw you had it on your YouTube channel, but your micro switch broke.
Oh, dude,
pressing the button too hard.
Yeah, don't solder to the micro switch. It doesn't work.
Oh, that's funny.
I my transmission, I just told you what I did with that. I was thinking, man, I should have a Powerglide so you could show me how to rebuild it.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Glad to get it done.
Yep. I think. Okay, this is you too. You took a little trip to Oklahoma.
Yeah, Stroud ran down there. They had the PRI had that update with the what is called the 7-belt harnessed and
7-point.
Yeah, thank you. 7-point harnessed, and so I was literally in the neighborhood because I was down there seeing Jason Flowers and handling some other business there in Oak City, and so I stopped in and needed the 7-point harness, and also my cert was due. So they gave, John was there, Amber was there, and they kind of looked around the showroom there at what they had, and it was pretty cool. So, but yeah, and I know you got yours back already, so you're ready to go.
Yep. Is that like a showroom? They got some shelves of stuff there. Is there a dog underneath that flag?
No, that was a tote is what that was right there. And then there was a table there, but the picture to the left there, those shelves, all those on the right side were just parachutes. There's probably, literally 150 parachutes right there on them shelves. And then of course behind that was just other things as well that they sell, if it wasn't window nets and chutes and belts and, they had some setups with some blower restraints and pro chargers or turbo, the blankets on there. And so, yeah, they have pretty much everything they sell right there in the showroom floor. It was cool just to walk around and check it out for a few minutes, but I want to grab a couple pictures, but you can see there too, they also inquired white safety. And so now they got the billboard up there as well. So
cool. I've never been there.
Yeah.
To their shop.
Right there on the west side. No big deal. As soon as you get rolled into Oklahoma City, it's like 15-minute drive.
Cool. Here, okay, this will be fun.
What do you got?
You had to make a change to your, your body, right, of your car.
What happened?
This happened.
Oh, yeah. Happened. What was going on? Al and Larry, right before New Year's night, they're like, "Hey, let's mix it up here a little bit." Got 700 pounds back off my car now, so put the glass doors back on. So yeah, end up doing that the next day. I just dusted them off and hung them, and so but yeah, that was that deal. So I guess they felt they would get some more cars in, you know what I mean, in limited and 8.5. And of course, if you run 8.5, you can already have fiberglass doors. But yeah, so I knew there was 3 or 4 cars that were kind of hanging out and running. Other classes are not showing up. So we'll see. I know it's all about the car count. So I figured I'd, take advantage of it. They're sitting there ready. So, but yeah.
Yep. I don't remember what day they posted this, but you remember closer than I do because you jumped right on it with the doors. But it's been within the last few weeks, and they made a post, a Happy New Year, Titans Nation. We wanted to put this announcement out before everybody is nursing a hangover. So it was right there at the end of the year. It was stated that there were going to be no big changes to Titans rules for 2026, and we stand by that. We are making this change nonetheless in the interest of car counts and class parity. Fiberglass doors will be allowed in limited 275 for 2026. You can see the 2025 rules placed next to the 2026 rules for comparison. We are still awaiting some news to throw a surprise or two into season 8, but nothing that affects the cars or the tech part of our rule set. We're excited to see you all next season.
Nice.
I found a rule infraction already.
Oh, did you? What did you find? Oh, I think I know what it is.
What?
Was it 25 pounds for dirty wheels?
No. What are your doors made out of? Are they fiberglass?
Are mine? Yes.
Okay. You count. Yeah. You're good.
Oh, yeah. I knew they were going to add 25 pounds for dirty wheels. So I
dirty wheels.
Yeah. I didn't. Maybe it hadn't made the press.
Limited pro mod, Jim says.
Limited pro mod. Come on now. Yeah.
Limited pro mod. Well, hopefully Tim will be running there in the white Malibu.
Man, yes. Man. And I just thought of this too. I was going to let you know when I was talking to Goose, there's going to be another player. You're talking about Tim coming into limited.
Yeah.
Do you hear about the Josh Maddox deal?
No.
Josh Maddox bought the 4th gen from TNS.
No kidding.
And they're going to race. He's going to put his daughter in it. And they're going to race Little Titans, Little Gangsters.
No way. Really?
Yeah. I forgot to tell you that, man. That was a couple of days back.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody has seen or watched his daughter race, she races the small little carts. I don't know exactly what they're called, but she's a winner. She can drive a race car in circles. I don't know about straight line yet, but
yeah, and they travel out. They go for real.
Man, that is super cool. I had no idea. I can't believe I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah,
I ain't in the loop.
What's that? What'd you say?
I guess I ain't in the loop, man.
Oh, well, I know we talk all the time. It's just one of those deals. I even
that's
had
awesome
news, to tell you. Man. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, that's awesome for everybody. Like Josh racing with his daughter and the Phillips, got to sell their car.
Right.
That's awesome.
Man,
Russell,
go ahead.
Russell says 8.5 going on. We are coming for you, Rodney Dowell.
Oh man, I tell you what. Man,
you got the mark is on your back, dude.
I'm telling you what, and these guys are killers right here, man. They're coming. I saw that they had had the car running and stuff. The Camaro, James's car. So they put it in the garage there. So they got a heartbeat.
Yeah, that the Camaro is illegal.
Why is that?
Because it's too rowdy.
Oh, it's too rowdy?
Yeah. You're only allowed like a 6 on the rowdy scale, and that's like an 8.
Okay, is that an 8? What?
Yeah, it's pretty rowdy, man.
Staying with that, where's Ray Parsons' rowdiness at? Did you hear that little video?
Oh, geez,
his car running.
Yeah, it's pretty rowdy too for a nitrous little Suburban motor. Gee whiz. I should have snagged that video.
Yeah. What are you talking about, nitrous? That thing's got a turbo.
What did I say? Nitrous engine?
Yeah, you did.
Right. Yeah.
And,
right.
And he's probably got compression of nitrous.
Seriously. Yes, he probably does.
Oh.
There's Ray. Race.
Got the 5.3 cam. Okay.
Ray says Russell Foreman, that thing looking good. 5.3 with a cam. Same Ray.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it the Chuck Norris or the Truck Norris or whatever?
Truck Norris.
Yeah.
No, I've got the Donald Thump camshaft. Remember that? Donald Thump.
Oh my goodness.
Brian says going to miss my power windows. Might have to get some light doors now.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, it was like the next day, and my painter Brad says, "Hey, you're not going to do that door thing."
I remember that. I remember that.
My doors are steel and they're painted, and he's they're not.
He was mixing up that red. You know what I mean? He was mixing that red.
This idiot is going to. This idiot's going to buy these stupid Shinek doors and wait for a year and a half again from that idiot Shinek. Dang it. Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
This is all I got. This is all I got.
Look at you.
Official Suburban class. I'm coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are ready for the dyno, except for a valve cover issue. So that's getting sorted out pretty soon.
Well, and let everybody know too, that intake is just for the dyno, right? You gotta.
Yeah. We're no fuel injection stuff, no turbo on the dyno. This is just going to be a carbureted deal just to wing it on the dyno, make sure the oil and everything is good and everything's happy and no leaks, no issues. And that's just break it in and that's it.
Right on.
And it's ready, but the dang valve covers don't fit. So just a part of, just Mark, it's just part of his day, just fixing problems and putting out fires.
That's what he does, man.
Yeah.
It's a nice piece, Gary. I'm super excited to see it come to a close and get it on the dyno, and it's all working out where your car's about done and get it to your shop, and you'll have the close sign on the back door when no one come in and
that's right.
Be getting to work. So
I hope it sounds half as good as Ray's. Holy cow.
Oh my goodness.
Shoo. Shoo.
Most of those LSs sound like a tractor, but that thing was
potato.
Oh.
Ray says you might as well swap it now, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get the truck Norris. Melissa says, hi, guys. Missed you having a show the last few weeks.
Yeah, I miss you, Melissa.
Okay, moving on. Yeah, you saw our jackets, and it came from Goose. So thank you, Goose.
Yeah. So what was the deal here with these pennies, Gary? We got a note with these jackets.
It was in each pocket.
In each pocket. And he goes, hey, these pennies were taped to it with our names on them, and made a comment that, I wanted you to have these pennies because you guys over there in Kansas don't have a lot of sense.
So
that's what that was.
Yeah. He sent us some sense. I got mine on my cabinet right there.
There you go.
Just in case I need some more. If I need some more heating bill money, I got some money.
Very cool.
Brian says, ordered my new TV torque cam this week. Hope it sounds like Ray's. RV. He's RV.
Oh, the RV cam? Yeah.
Three-quarter
race cam.
Yeah. Larry says, looking forward to seeing Gary's car in the background. We're all tired of looking at his lawnmower. Where is the lawnmower? There's a vacuum cleaner. It's over here.
He sees it.
Right there.
On the ladder. He sees it.
That's my wife's lawnmower. It ain't mine.
Gary's got a surprise for you guys in a couple of weeks there. He's already planning it out.
Man. Phew. Local news, King of the South. Brandon and the Junkyard Stewed got the official invite. That is, where's the date on this? May 21st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So
yeah, that's a big
look
deal
out.
right there.
Yeah, look out if you're going to race this, because them guys are good, man.
Yeah, you better pack a lunch because all those are players, which is freaking awesome.
Just a couple more things here on the IHRA side. It's official. This is old news now already.
Right.
It's official. IHRA acquires historic motorsports facility in Millington, Tennessee. And they had another post that says IHRA to start construction at Memphis International Raceway in the upcoming days. Behind the scene updates. And then even after this, they had some video and pictures of the groundbreaking, lots of individuals involved. And that whole area has to be excited for that to happen.
Goodness. Well, they just had the city council there and the mayor during the groundbreaking ceremony, and just for restaurants and hotels. And, didn't he, and I'm sorry if you just said this, but he commit to like 40 million into this, just Memphis.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible, man. It's just incredible.
Yeah. It'll be exciting to see what else IHRA does this year. Now that we're finally in 2026.
Right.
But wait, there's more from the IHRA. And as the ink wasn't even dry on that check.
Yeah.
And read this. IHRA acquires Heartland Motorsports Park, announces vision to restore iconic facility as a destination entertainment and racing complex. The International Hot Rod Association today announced the acquisition of Heartland Motorsports Park in Topeka, Kansas, reinforcing IHRA's long-term commitment to preserving motorsports history while reimagining legendary venues for the future. Wow.
That's all we can say.
Man, bring it on.
That's all you can say.
It'll be, and the IHRA for October, they've got that race on their schedule. So
yeah,
they're gonna get to work and get her done.
Get her done, man. That is just incredible. Did you see that little meme where I think it was taken from what show was that? Daggone it. It's leaving me. Go ahead with the comment.
Harper says they are leveling that whole place in Memphis, $40 million rebuild. Woo!
Wow. That's just incredible.
And Harper says lots of plans for Topeka for sure.
Yeah.
At least Topeka, they've been closed for 2 years, 24 and 25, or 23, 24, and this year. It's been 2 or 3 years. From what we can see from like pictures, it's not in as rough a shape as Memphis. Memphis is really rough.
I know. Well, even so maybe they did a news story, right after the announcement of this came out, and did a walkthrough and everything. So need old lawn care to go down there and take care of some business.
That's right.
Because it cleaned up. But other than that, like buildings were intact and that sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Maybe a little paint job and some glass and some weed eaters.
Yeah.
A little bit of paint. Yep.
Yeah. Nothing but good things, man. This is just awesome. Did you see today too? Disco Dean came on and said, like, if you win, I don't remember what races they were.
Yeah.
But if you like these certain categories, if you win all 3 races, you get $1 million.
Yes.
That's just incredible. Incredible.
Yes.
And then I don't know if we plugged it in. I hate to talk in front of us here, but all those championship dollars and the winnings, for each class that they had broken out. I mean, that's just incredible.
When they showed the payouts, I tried to find the NHRA payouts just to make it comparable for a talking point in the show. I didn't find it, but we'll have that talking session in another show, just kind of comparing the payouts with the Top Fuel and the Funny Car and all them classes. So
yeah,
I'll find it.
Even the quote low life small tire guys. I mean, it's amazing how much they're paying that for that little Bratz deal. I mean, that is drag racing is alive and well. That's all, man. When I was in there, I hate to keep dragging on because I know we got these guys in the studio downstairs, but when I was at JR's this week talking shop, he made a point. He's like, "There's so many tracks. You just pick one. You can go race.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what I mean? You want to go over here? What point, do you want to go? East, south, north, west?" And it's just incredible. It's glad to see it.
We're in a good spot here in Wichita where we have access to a lot of racing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's good and it's bad both ways,
I agree. But like we were saying too, someone said something. I don't want to call anybody out, but we were talking about didn't want to travel or something. And I think for myself, if you can get up in the morning like you're going to work, and you can roll out and get somewhere by after lunch, even if that's 5 or 6 hours. To me, that's not traveling. Like if I was going to go to like New York to race, that's traveling, or go to California or something. But like, what is 6 or 7 hours? You know what I mean? Around us, you could hit so many tracks. It's just incredible.
And to say that it's a long drive and blah, blah, blah. But if you're like in that 4 to 6 hour window, which is on the long end of where we travel, if you're traveling, you're just shooting the breeze, talking about stuff, it goes really quick. It's not a bad drive.
Couple stops to go to the bathroom, fill up, get a snack, throw a podcast in, while you're rolling out. And
Yep.
Yeah. Of course, when you have a good weekend, the travel back's a lot funner than when you don't. Right. But
make it rain in the cab. Woo!
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Harper says Topeka is not bad at all. About a month and it will be ready.
Oh, dang.
I wonder if he means in a month or about a month's worth of work.
About a month's worth of work, I bet.
That's awesome. There's Michael Narks. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Michael Narks digging on Topeka. Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably Mrs. Harper. Did you see the Brats class will be at Topeka in October? I wrote it on my calendar, October 9th and 10th. It's on my calendar.
Yeah.
I hope I got valve covers in a car by then.
I hope so too. By October, holy cow!
Not
we looked at that. It would be like one of the last races of the year, besides Texas. But like she says, it's not radio prep, but just to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Throw some slicks on and go race. Go get your butt whipped by Ryan Martin. How cool would that be?
Sure.
And have fun and tailgate and
Just to she says
back open.
Yeah, she makes a good point here. Not a radio prep event, but that's a great class, and you all fit in. So,
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Well, you can race. You can race a slick prep on a radio. It'd take a little,
True.
A little testing to make it work. We've seen it done.
True. They got this liner tire coming out too, right? Come on now. Remember at PRI?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Because when Ryan went 394, Logan was in Hobby's phone and he showed me the tire, and that's a tube only. That's not a liner tire. I asked.
Oh, wow. Darren Kesey says, Rod and Gary, do you have your 2026 race calendar working?
Not yet. I'm on, no joke, I don't know if you can see this, but it's just scratch paper right now. And
I've got the Titans stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about all the Titans, all the Ozark.
Flying H has a couple.
Yeah. Topeka. And the last one could be on Halloween. I mean, I think that's 12 or 13 right there. I mean, that's enough.
That's a lot. Yes. There's one more. There's one more about the boards. You want to hit that or save that for another show? Hey, we could include it with all these guys.
Let's bring these fellas in and talk about that. That's
get everybody's opinion on this.
Yeah,
hang on a second.
Hit a couple comments and then we'll bring them in.
Hey, there's Mark Tido. Evening, boys. Sorry I'm late to the party.
How's it going, Mr. Tido? Thanks for coming on.
Oh, Harper says they won't let you run a radial at that event. There's a couple specific tires that are legal for brats. Good to know. Yeah,
I remember Pinky having that, but those DO5s you can get at Mel Hamilton are good.
Okay, good. Let me fix this and fix this. Got a little clicking here. Okay.
All right.
We're gonna bring on Greg.
Yeah.
It's kind of different than what we thought we was gonna do.
That's okay. We can make him on, right?
Do we want to talk about that after we bring the rest of them in? We want to save it a little bit or do it now?
That's up to you. I get what you're saying here.
Because
I definitely wanted to bring the topic up with all the guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's end with it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's end with it.
Let's do this. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. You got us,
we're
Greg?
just trying to work
Greg,
this as we go. We'll get it figured out. Hi, Greg.
Can you hear me this time?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
Good. So everybody, Greg Friebus, family car, got the Chrysler. Asked him to come on, to talk to us a little bit about his build. I know we saw him at Mel Hamilton and other places last year at the open house, and we also dug a little bit deeper and asked the team at More Race Cars to come on as well, if I'm saying that right. Moore's Race Chassis. And so we just want to talk to Greg just for a minute here, talk about racing, about some of his cars, and then the reason why he decided to go with More Race Chassis, and then we'll bring the other boys in and talk about that tremendous transformation that car went through. Is that what the plan is? Does that sound good?
Yep.
All right. So let's kick us off here. Bring up a picture there, Mr. Gary.
Let's move out of the way here. I gotta find. they're really small over here.
I bet.
Yeah, these pictures I had, they're scanned pictures that were taken on a 35 millimeter. Some of the old ones with the old car.
Oh, great.
Greg, I got the pictures of the old Pontiac. Oh, I think this is it. There we go. Oh, look at you.
Man, look at that. It was about 6 months ago. You looking sharp, man. Muscle bound.
The old Milli Vanilli flat top we got going on there.
There you go. What do you got here? What are you sitting in front of?
That's a 72 Pontiac Le Mans.
Nice.
And that was my first car that I got when I was 15.
Okay.
Is that how old you are in that photo there? You're 15 there in that photo?
I might be a little older. I think I'm 18 in that photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, I had the bug right away. That was just, just a plain old stock Le Mans. It wasn't a GTO or anything like that.
Right.
It had, the 350 Pontiac motor and the 350 turbo hydro transmission in it, and the old wonderful 10-bolt rear ends that they put in a lot of the A bodies. And
where's this at? Is this here in Wichita?
Yeah, that's funny because that's the apartment complex that I lived in at the time with my mom, and I had no garage, no driveway, no nothing. And there was one picture on there. It doesn't really matter, but I had one picture of it sitting on an engine stand. And the reason I included that picture of that engine was because that was in a little storage room that I had to rent to have a place to build my engine. And
heck yeah.
So yeah, I love that car. I mean, when I got it, it didn't have a scratch on it, and I wasn't really big on green, but it kind of grew on me.
So you bought this when you were 15. Did you mow yards, scoop snow, odd jobs, save up money, and found your first hot rod? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I think I worked at Godfather's Pizza at the time.
Okay.
And so I got a little assistance from Mom there, on that one. But soon as I saw it, it had the mag wheels and everything on it when I bought it. And
it looks great.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that's my car. I want it.
There you go.
Is it got a white vinyl top or is that painted?
It's a white vinyl top.
Ah, cool. Woo, man.
So yeah, I was styling, back in the day. So this was like 1987.
Yep.
And where it's sitting there in that parking spot in that apartment complex, they had a rule that you cannot work on your car there in the parking lot. And so in that parking lot, I did like 3 head gasket jobs, put headers on it, intake, carburetor, whatever else I had to do to it all the time. So we got kind of dinged on that every now and then, but it's all I had.
Yeah. I was asking if you ever got busted doing that.
Yeah, I had an issue because of the compression I was running, and I couldn't always afford to buy the avgas that I ran in it. So sometimes I'd cheat and get by on the 91, and I had a little mark on my distributor that I would charge the timing a little bit, so I could get by driving it. But every once in a while, I'd get my foot a little bit too much into it, and the head gasket would push out. So I literally had to replace 3 sets of head gaskets right there in that spot where it sits.
Wow. Dedication.
Did you make it to the racetrack with this car?
Yeah, I did. The best it ever ran, it was just a street car, but the best it ever ran was a 1290.
Dang.
Okay. That runs good in the 80s.
Yeah, no kidding.
When it, for me, being a 16, 18-year-old kid, man, I thought it was the fastest thing known to mankind,
Yeah.
Sure.
And it had the 350 in it, but I bought a 455 out of a 1975 Grand Am. And if you know anything about the smog era stuff, it was like, I'm not kidding you, I think it was 7.5 to 1 compression on that thing. And there was a guy that lived not too far from us who raced Pontiacs, and I just kind of I think a buddy knew him or something, and on a whim I went by and said, hey, do you have any heads that I can put on this 455? And he said, well, I've got these old Ram Air 3 heads off of a GTO. They flow real good, a smaller combustion chamber, but he said they're worn out. And so I bought those heads from him for $100 and put those 400 heads on that 455, which took the compression up to about 11.7 to 1.
Oh, geez.
and they flowed pretty good. And then, had headers on it, a single plane manifold, and, a Holley double pumper. I can't remember if that's a vacuum secondary or the double pumper on there now, but, just a real basic setup. But, those Pontiacs make a lot of torque.
Yeah.
And it was a one tire fire at that point because it had a 306 single track in it. But man, I could smoke the tires for 300 feet to the tire, one tire for like 300 feet. And when I built the engine, I didn't even have a place to build the engine. And at the time, Steve Ash worked at First Street Auto Electric.
Yes.
And he's like, well, hey, we got an engine hoist down there. And he helped me out. And we came down there and we put the motor in it and everything. And then
cool.
Neil Chance Transmissions built the 350 that was in it. And then I had a buddy, this is super legal right at the track, had welded the spider gears together.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the 8.5-inch rear with a 306 gear with the spider gears welded together in it. And it ran 1290s like that.
Man. Did you race out here at Wichita? Is that where you went to the track?
At the time, Wichita International Dragway.
Okay.
I didn't race a lot, but I was out there, I was one of those numbskulls that was out there racing on the street over there on, we'd hang out on Seneca and we'd hook up and then everybody would cruise over to West Street and we'd, run until the police came over there and then we'd go back and that kind of thing. But
many nights. Cool. What else we got?
Yeah. How long did you hang on to this before you moved on to a different automobile?
Man, I still had that when I was married. This is, everybody has that one car.
Right.
That, man, I wish I hadn't sold that. Well,
this is
the one for me. I wish I hadn't sold it. But I got married and we moved into an apartment initially. And it was one of those big apartment complexes, and this thing had 3-inch exhaust on it. When it had a cam in it, like a 560 lift cam in it, and it was louder than hell. And when I would drive through the WSU parking lot, it would set car alarms off. I kid you not. And so we moved into this apartment, and then here I'm this a-hole pulling up at 12 o'clock at night with this 3-inch exhaust, waking up the entire apartment complex and setting off car alarms. And so we decided, well, maybe we'll sell the hot rod, and like I said, I kind of wish I'd, set it aside somewhere and kept it, but I didn't.
Man.
Oh,
yeah. When did the big Chrysler come in the picture?
Well, so I had this car until, I don't know, about 91. And, I was married then and we were starting a family and I didn't have another hot rod until I bought that Chrysler. And I talked about it and it never got done. And my wife had a 92 Mercury Cougar with a V6 in it. And I told her, well, when you're done driving that thing, I'm going to make a race car out of it. And so we bought her a new SUV, I think in like 2006 or something. So it'd been like 16 years, I hadn't had a hot rod that whole time.
Wow.
And right before that time came, I totaled that car. I got a little distracted and rear-ended somebody and folded up the whole front end of it.
Dang.
And so we never built the Cougar. And I told my wife, I said, man, I got to have a hot rod. I said, but I kind of want something that's a family car. So you see where this is going.
Sure.
But I said, I want something, it's got a little bit of balls, something. And I got to looking around and I found the late model Dodges, that had the 5.7s and the 6.1s and whatnot in them. And I went out to Davis Moore and they had 2 black Chrysler 300s with the 6.1, the SRTs, for sale on the parking lot. And they were almost 2 years old. They were brand new, but they were almost 2 years old. And so, this is where I tell you I got the great deal. I don't know. That's what I tell everybody anyway. And so I bought that Chrysler 300 brand new. It had like 20 miles on it or something.
Wow.
And I drove it to work every day. It had everything in it. It even had the rear entertainment system in it. My kids would ride in the car seats in the back and watch cartoons, on the little little screen in the back and
Uh-huh.
in the whole 9 yards. So that's kind of where the family car came from.
So what year is this now when you bought that?
That was 2000. It's like the end of 2007.
Okay.
I think. And so, you know, I hadn't raced it yet or anything, but, you know, it was a daily driver. I drove it every day. And it just so happened one time, and I couldn't tell you what year it was, but I can tell you this. It was the last year that Wichita International Raceway was Wichita International Raceway, right before.
Okay.
Steve.
Before Steve took over?
No, the guy's name that owned it before. I know his name. He's got the Pro Mod.
Wayne Roberts.
Yeah, Wayne Roberts.
Yeah.
It was the last year that he owned it, I think.
Okay.
I think that's right. I could have that wrong. So if somebody knows different, they can correct me on that. But I took my son out there just to go out and watch the drags, and I drove the Chrysler 300 out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like nothing going on. I don't know if it was a test and tune day. I mean, it was just a handful of cars out there. And so I just drove my car over and parked it in the pits. And I don't know if it was a guy that was working the staging lanes, or who it was, but somebody that was working there at the track came over and said, "Hey, you're going to run that car down the track?" And I said, "Well, I didn't plan on it." And he's like, "Oh, there's nothing going on out here. If you want to run it down the track, just run it down the track." And I thought, well, might as well, you know. And you know, my old Pontiac, you know, most of the time, you know, I hit a 1290, I think, once, but pretty much it was a 13-second car. And I thought that was the greatest thing ever. And I, you know, I'd seen that these Chrysler 300s would, you know, or Chargers or whatever would run 13s. I was like, man, that'd be cool if it just ran a 13, you know.
Right.
So I went ahead and ran it down the track, and it ran a 14.0.
Close.
And I was so disappointed. But that was the beginning of, oh man, I got to make this thing faster, you know.
Oh no.
Right.
This picture here, so that I know that bottom picture, is this top one kind of in the state that you're talking about when you bought it?
Yeah, that top one's completely stock, nothing done to it.
Okay.
I mean, it might have had a cold air intake on it or something. And I think I ended up putting a cold air intake on it and a tune, and it ended up going 1330s.
Dang.
Okay.
And you know, I'm a software engineer, so I'm kind of into the tuning side of it. I like doing that stuff. And so I bought CMR. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Diablo Sport and the CMR tuning software and all that crap. But I bought the CMR and started tuning on it myself, and I switched it over to E85. And I think in the picture below, so the one below is the True Street stuff, right? You remember that?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
So
this is like 2011, 12.
Yeah. I love running the True Street stuff.
This picture's at the house of Schwann. Keith put that event on, and that's where we all started from over there.
Nice.
It's a long time ago, man.
Yep. Had the 17-inch drag radials on the back. And I think at that time, all I had was just a converter in it and E85. And I think that's it. And I think I went 1230s or something in it at that point. And it was still full weight, you know, no weight reduction or anything on it. But yeah, that car was fun to drive.
I bet.
What was full weight out of the factory?
The curb weight out of the factory on this car was 4150.
Jeez.
And so with my fat ass in it, you know, I was basically 4,400 pounds. And then after I got the turbo set up on it and got the full 25.3 cage in it, I ran across the scales. I ran Mako one time just for the hell of it when they were at Kansas International Dragway. And it weighed, in that final state with me in it, it weighed 4,560 pounds.
Wow.
Holy moly, man.
Still had the factory original untouched engine in it. And I kept saying, man, I need to pull that engine out and at least regap the rings on this, you know, because I ended up running 18 pounds of boost on that thing. And I just knew I was going to break a piston, but I just never did it. And I had it down later on after, you know, a time later, I was still running the E85 and Chris down at Wichita Dining, he's like, man, you got this thing so damn rich. I've never seen anybody run a car so rich on the E85. but yeah, it was heavy, and with the factory original engine, I hadn't even had the valve covers off of it.
Oh man.
And just had the turbo set up on it. I did all the tuning with CMR. It still had the factory ECU and all that on it. And it went 1030s at 4,560 pounds with a factory motor.
Wow. Holy cow.
At the time, it was one of the fastest in the nation with the complete factory engine in it, with no changes to it at all. But I'm sure it's probably faster than that now. But
yeah.
Wow. I drove to work like that every day. And that was kind of my goal. I joked with my wife. I said, I want a 10-second daily driver. And then I'll be happy. I'll be happy. Then I'm done. No more.
Right. And it goes 1030s and you're like, man, I'd like this thing to go 9s. Yeah. Man.
990.
Don't stop now.
Yeah. 990.
Just a few more up arrows.
It's a sickness, guys.
Oh man.
They'll have to talk to us about that.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's the one I got, the one you sent the 3 pictures. You're like, let's start off with this, like the before, the strip, and then the go home. But are these configurations, is this like a setup before it went to more?
Yes.
Like, okay, because I know you had it running before you stripped it. Or before it went to mats. Yeah,
this is when I finally hit 100,000 miles on it. And I said, it's time to make a race car out of it. That's when I put the 25.3 cage in there, which I did myself, which probably wasn't a great idea because I'd never done a cage before. But nevertheless, I did. And I got that engine was a cast HHP block, 6.1 based, as something like, I call it a 426, of course, but it's probably like a 428 inch motor. And that's, I took a little bit of weight out of the car, and I just put this one down here at the bottom with the electronics, because anybody that's ever wired a complete street car, race car, knows how much wiring's in those things. Wow. It's crazy. And that piece up there on the top by the dashboard's my 16 ignition coils.
Oh man.
Oh, right.
But
Troy uses that too, right? 16 coils. Yeah.
This was the original cast water cooled HHP block that I ran with, and that's Bess up there at the top. I can't remember. I don't think that's Brett. I think that's somebody else. But they ran it on the engine dyno, and it made right at 800 with a carburetor on it.
Dang.
Okay. So and it ran really good. In fact, I don't know if you guys are going to run any of those little video clips I gave you or anything, but there's the one of Chris Levitt on his dyno, and it made 1,600 and something. I can't remember the final number. It was over 1,600 on nice. 23 pounds of boost.
I got that video. We'll play it. Hang on.
Yeah, so kind of the game plan, I like to do the tuning. I did all the wiring, all that on it. So kind of the game plan was I would build a startup tune and, get the car running, and then I'd take it down to Chris, and he'd get a really good bass tune on it for me.
Okay.
And then I'd do most of the tuning at the track after that. And anyway, we could make more boost on it, but we could never make more power. And so we had a lot of back pressure, and I think if I had played around with the cam timing and really tried to dial it in, I could have got a little more power. That was with the 88 millimeter Promon turbo that we had on there, single.
Right.
And it ran really good. I think I went 530s or something, and then I split that block almost completely in half.
Ooh.
I was out at Kansas International Dragway, and it had the belly pan on it and everything. Thanks to Holzman, actually did the belly pan for me. And it contained it all. So, because I 2 rods left the stage, and it was, and I didn't even know for sure what happened. And and actually Chris Levitt earlier, I had a water leak, and I just thought I had a water leak, and I was up there racing, trying to get the car back up there to run the next round. I can't remember what the race was. And Chris is like, man, I think you need to take a step back here because that's a lot of water down there. And I said, well, I just got a water leak. And, and I just blew by and ignored him. And on that pass, I split the engine in half.
Oh,
and
so it was already broke and leaking water, huh?
Yeah, it was already cracked, and I didn't look it over good enough. So I guess that's a lesson for all of us, right? Is
sure.
Wow, you got something weird going on. Listen to Chris Levitt.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I took the engine out and I sent it back to Bess, and I said, I don't really know what happened. I thought that the rods came loose, and that's what cracked the block. But apparently, those blocks had issues, and they think that it cracked and broke open the oil gallery and starved the back half of the engine of oil, which then resulted in throwing the rod and ultimately splitting the whole thing up.
Man.
And so, yeah. So that's what ended up making me one of the members of the Billet Boys Club.
Oh,
right.
Official member.
Yeah.
Man.
Great story.
The other video you sent was from Mad. And is that like one of the last times it ran?
Yep. That was, I joke all the time because I think Rodney's beaten me, a half a dozen times. Tired of seeing the back of your white Mustang. But I think the last race I ran Rodney, and I ran a 479, but that 476 that you have the video of, that was the fastest run the car ever made in that configuration. At that time, it weighed 3650 with me in it.
Wow.
And that was the last run, one of the last runs I made before I took it to more race chassis.
Okay. Here's this video. Let's watch this. Boom.
Great pass. Great pass. Nice and straight.
Yep. And I just decided that weekend that I needed to stop because that's on an IRS, the factory IRS suspension. Now, granted, I got some tension arms and, some shocks and stuff in there. But because of that IRS, I couldn't get a double bead lock on there. And I was having issues twisting the tire on the single bead lock. And I also bent a tension arm at 150 mile an hour. And so I just said, I'm done. I pushed this. I felt like I could have maybe gone 450s, got a 459 in it, but I just felt like it was becoming a safety issue with the car. And we're all at that point here, I think about 2 years ago, where, around here, the car count, we all know the story. We don't have any rules because the car, we can't have 5 different classes for the small tire.
Sure.
And so the small tires gotten so fast that, you can't compete. So you either had to take a step back and look at limited, or you had to go balls to the walls and go the other direction. And I had it on my bucket list to do the X275, the duck races.
Oh, yeah.
It was on my bucket list, X275. Well, hell, you can't even compete here locally in X275 trim hardly.
Yeah.
So certainly not anymore. At the time, maybe barely. And I know some guys went the other direction, and I was contemplating that, but the billet block, right? And so the plan was to take it to more. Well, I called around. I was just toying with the idea. I didn't want to take it, to the East Coast or something. I thought, man, if I can find a chassis shop within, 300 miles or so that would take it and do it, then, maybe I'll do it. And so I started calling around to some of the, the local chassis shops. I call them local, within a few states.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'd been following more race chassis, and the work that they were putting out was just fantastic.
Right.
And, they do a really good job with their social media stuff. So they had all kinds of videos and pictures and stuff out there. And I just, on a whim, I called, and I think Mark can correct me, but I think it was Taylor at the time answered the phone. And she's like, well, it just so happened we had a customer push their build out. And so she said, we can get you in. So the plan was, you know, these things go. The plan was to back half it.
We'll just do a little mini tub.
Yeah. So anyway, maybe that's a good segue to bring the other guys in.
Okay.
Sounds great. Man, love it.
Yep. Let's make room for these guys. Andrew Wittman and Matt Moore. Hey, guys.
What's going on?
What's happening?
Yeah.
Thank you for waiting there in the pen there. I know it gets a little bit, so we tried to get this going. Really appreciate you coming on here. And so Taylor just had a comment, didn't she, Gary?
Yeah. Taylor Elman says it was me. So who is Taylor?
She's our office manager. She's been with us for 4 years now. So
Boss lady.
Yeah, she's a mom.
Yeah.
So she took your phone call, Greg, and did you lay out I want to do this. Can you help?
Yeah. And honestly, I can't remember the whole conversation. I think at some point, Matt got involved, to see, kind of roughly what we wanted to do. And we came up with an initial rough estimate.
Matt, you probably thought it was a prank call. You want to do this to a giant Chrysler 300? Like you're filming an episode of Jackass or something. Is this real?
Oh yeah, we'll take on anything. It'll be challenging, but
Sure.
Wow.
Well, I had bought a Challenger chassis, which I still have if anybody wants to buy it. Plug. And later on, initially it was going to be a back half, and later on as it progressed, I thought about, before they started the car, I thought about taking him that Challenger.
Oh, okay.
And I told Andrew, I said I couldn't do it. I just wanted to do something different. And really the chassis on the Challenger and the 300, it's an LC versus an LX chassis. It's basically the difference between a 4-door G body and a 2-door G body. It's the same chassis. You just got 2 more doors and another. It's only like 8 inches of difference. So it's not that much different than building a Challenger. And I was stuck with it. I bought the car new, and I just said, the hell with it. We'll just do this.
Sure. Very cool. So I'll just ask Matt, the car rolls in, you do the initial meet, you look it over. What's the initial thought there? Just kind of getting it all going. How'd you guys go through that?
I think the initial call was, I think when you brought it up there, Greg, I think we were like, man, we could add on to this. Yes. But there's a line there of like, okay, do you keep going with that or do you start fresh? And that's one of the hardest conversations we have with people is like, okay, well, what's your goal and where do you want it to end up? I don't want to build you something and you spend X amount and then 5 years down the road, you're like, well, I wish I would have done this. So it's trying to see the bigger picture. It's not always a fun conversation to have because it is, regardless, it's expensive.
Sure.
But it's trying to build a car that you're not going to, be unsatisfied with in a couple of years when you're going too fast for the chassis.
Yeah, no, I think they're being nice because Andrew at the time, I don't know if you remember, but you put it on the chassis table and you're like, your number 1 bar is 1/4 of an inch off, and I think what is the kidney bar back there is like the number 2 bar or whatever you said. So it's like 1/8 of an inch off, and I'm thinking to myself, they don't care about that. They just don't want to attach anything to this terrible welding job I did on the.
No. It was definitely that there were, some things out of square and whatnot. You got to build off of a good base. But no, for somebody that had not built a chassis at all or a cage or anything, I give you props with full interior in that car, doing it yourself in your garage. Like, it's not an easy feat for anybody. So not knocking it. I just didn't want to back half a crooked car, so to speak. Not that that's what I mean to say, but.
No, I get you. I'm just busting your anatomy right now.
Hey, there's a lot of background noise. You hear that?
Yeah.
Is that your heater, Andrew?
No, it's off.
It might be mine. It might be mine. Hold on, let me turn it off.
Matrix printer.
You hear that, Rod?
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned mine off, and the temperature is dropping quickly, but we're gonna deal with it. It's not hanging on there as good as I thought.
Yeah, sound like a train coming at first here.
All right, you're good. It'll show off in a minute.
I just want to mention, I don't want to hog all their time because I want them to, be able to tell the saga. But when we dropped the car off, my son came with me, and my son, he's going to turn 30 this year. And we left the shop. He said, "Dad," he said, "there's not a single person in that shop that's older than me." And I said, "I think you're right." And I mean, that to me, that's a phenomenal accomplishment for a group of young people, Matt, to start a business, and Andrew to be such an exceptional fabricator, and just the whole team to have a bunch of young guys running a serious business and putting out the kind of hardware that they do. I just think that's commendable. And I wanted to throw that out there.
Well said.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity too. That's a big part of it too. Nobody that works for us would be where we are if it wasn't for the opportunity Matt has given us. I didn't know anything when I started Moore, and look where I'm at. So definitely a lot is owed to Matt and Mark for teaching me the ways. So pretty grateful for that.
So Matt, you and Mark kind of run it. Andrew, were you the lead fabricator on the build? Is that how that was, or how does it work?
Yeah. So that's kind of how we break up those is by fabricator. Matt's kind of the mastermind as far as the engineering side of it goes. And then usually there's a lead fabricator on the build. So either, Mark will build one or I'll build one. This one was pretty well solely my build. I think I probably did a good 85-90% of the work on Greg's car.
Wow. Very cool. Excited to see it in person. I know we got some pictures here. We can kind of walk through it, but Greg, do you remember the day you dropped it off? What day it was? Not to talk about time or anything, but I know it was a big day.
I really don't. I want to say it was June of 24. Does that sound right, Matt?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was warmer out. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So then I'm assuming you got to start cutting things out to move forward. You got to kind of back up. Is that fair?
Yeah, we cut everything.
Yeah, just one thing. I mean, like I said, they talked me into it. It's more of it. That's a bad way to put it. They presented the options, and it just made a lot of sense. If you're going to put that much money into a car and you've got this home built chassis on the front, and then it's harder than hell to get everything to made up. And so we made the decision to build the I'm not going to say full chassis car because I'm going to run LDR. So
yeah,
so we won't get into that, but we decided to do the full build. We'll say that.
Well, and on the safety side too, right? Let's think about it. You're going to be going a lot faster.
Yeah.
And the car is going to be a little bit lighter. So you made the right move.
Yep. I'm going to move us out of the way here. And Greg, you said you wanted to start with these three pictures, and then we'll kind of dissect each one because there's different stages. Tell us about each of these three.
Well, I'll just talk about the first one, and I'll let them talk about the other two. I just wanted to show a picture of that 476 run is that top picture.
Okay.
Cool.
Full interior, IRS suspension, 3,650 pounds.
Ooh.
That's getting it done.
And I love these two bottom pictures because it just shows what these guys did. I mean,
yeah. From a skeleton shell to it's ready to go home. It looks like there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that second picture down is when I found out how many spot welds it takes to get to the middle of a Chrysler 300. And I don't know if many people can really say that.
Did you count them?
No kidding.
Yeah, it's like it was. I think it was somewhere in the 1,300 to 1,400 range by the time we got through like each uniside, because that car had like 3 complete unisides inside the structure. So every spot weld you had to do like 3 times to get through each layer. So it was a ton.
Wow.
And he's quite a salesman because he would call me and he'd say, "Greg, we spent this many hours on it, but we took 150 pounds out of the car. Do you want to keep cutting?"
Yes.
Almost. And then it got to a point one time he quoted me how many dollars per pound it was or something. Just keep cutting. Just keep
It's the cheapest weight. It's the cheapest weight.
That's the truth.
Yeah. You'll regret it when there's titanium bolts, later and you're spending $500 for a couple bolts.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's good money spent. I just kept saying, cut it. And the weight that he got it down to was pretty impressive, I think.
Right.
So we'll go, we got some early pictures, but Matt, I've been watching your stuff for a long time. I don't know who else does this, but I know you do because you post it. How soon did you start into this? Because you man, there might be other places that do it, but they don't show it. You do this on like a CAD or computer, like you've got like a whole design of stuff. I've seen you post that stuff. How soon did you start mapping this out after the phone call?
It was pretty much as soon as Andrew got it cut apart. I think I 3D scanned it once before, and that was kind of before we decided to keep cutting. That's when that happened. And then I think after Andrew got it completely stripped down, then I 3D scanned it again and basically just drew the entire chassis. We use Bentech to do a lot of the tube design. It's a lot quicker to get tube designs whipped up quickly, and then I'll finalize it in SolidWorks with like placing engine, transmission, making sure all the driveline angles work, because it is a long car. There's a good amount of engineering time, and I mean it's a 120-inch wheelbase car, and the mid plate is at like 100 inches. So the mid plate distance to the center of the housing is the length of a Fox body's wheelbase. So there's a lot of challenges with getting it wedged in, getting it there. And then, with LDR rules, they want, stock location firewall. So you kind of have to, it's not like you can just keep shoving the motor back where it really needs to go. There's some constraints there. So, and then once we get it all designed, then the guys out in the shop take it and they'll make, like, I think this drawing right here, this is Andrew's firewall for the back of the head has a water fitting on it. So that's where that crazy firewall design came from. Okay. So the guys can still edit it out in the shop, and then, they kind of run with it.
Wow, that's cool.
Matt's with problems like that. Matt's favorite word to tell me is I don't know, you're the fabricator. So when the water fittings didn't work, it took quite a bit of brain power, because this is not a conventional mid plate hoop design that you see on most chassis cars. I had to get pretty creative with it. So yeah, that was definitely an interesting part of the build too.
Yeah, that was a culmination of Brett over at Best Racing Engine saying, "Yeah, try deck the heads; it'll be fun."
Right.
Until you try to fit the engine up against a mid plate that's built into the chassis, and then you just want to kill yourself.
Oh, man.
Andrew did a great job on it, but yeah, that was just a nightmare.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how bad it was going to be. If I had, I probably would have done something different, but that's just where we were at. But they did a great job on it.
Matt, how hard would a job like this be without the computer and scanning and mapping capabilities with the computer involved?
It's all doable. It's just it lets us design it. Like, it lets me show the customer, or it lets us find problems beforehand. So I can sit, I can be working one or two cars ahead of where Andrew and Mark are. So I'm finding problems that are going to be, they'll show themselves later on down the road.
Right.
So it's just a lot. It saves them time in the, in customer, billable hours. 'Cause it's, we find all these crazy problems. The firewall one we didn't find, but like where the motor goes and all that, we can find, way ahead of time and start planning for it.
Cool. Is this the car when it showed up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's on the dollies. It's ready to be blowed apart.
Yeah. Look at that.
It's ready to lose some weight. It's on the diet.
Yeah. It had Yeah, it got a lot of cutting, that's for sure. I think we got by the time that thing was completely cut apart, I think just the shell, like no doors or anything, what was left, that body weighed 165 pounds. So
yeah, to give you a comparison, like S197, kind of like Brett's shell, or we just finished up an S650. That S650 was in the 130 pound range for the shell, and then I think Brett's was 150.
Okay,
so that's kind of the rate. We got it way down. It's wild that you could get a car that big down to that weight. Just the shell.
right.
Yeah. It turns into a wet noodle. It's very nerve wracking from the point of when it is like that until it gets attached to said chassis.
So that middle picture, is that kind of the weight you're talking about, or less than that even? Okay.
No, that's I think, that's pretty well about where it's at. There might have been a few little pieces of panel left, like cleanup work wise, but otherwise, no, that's pretty much full gutted where you'd see it. So it weighed about 165 pounds in that picture.
Wow.
Dang.
A little overhead shot of looking on the inside before it got stripped. And that's your work. You did all that, Greg, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm
a lot of work, man.
proud of the cage, but the welding left quite a bit to be desired. and that comes back to Rodney's comment, is safety. Is that thing going to hold together? And
Sure.
That was part of the decision to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive for the size of vehicle to go how fast you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. The backstory is really cool too. I was glad I got to hear a good part of that when you had us, back in the studio waiting. That was pretty cool to hear Greg's evolution of that thing, because it was rowdy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is more stripped on the table or on the jig, or maybe that's just a strip jig.
That's pretty much just the cut jig.
How long did it take to get it to just gutted little shell?
Man, if I had to ballpark, I'd have to. I don't know if I want to look at the actual invoice, and I'm sure Greg doesn't either. But I think I want to say. I mean, I think it was somewhere in the realm of 80 hours or so to get to that point of stripped. It's a ton. When I say there's a lot of spot welds, and there's no unless somebody has a secret trick. I mean, we've tried about everything. It's just one of those things that takes time. And the other big part is the paint on this car was pretty darn nice for a race car. Like most of the cars we get are junked. They're going to go and get paint work after. So you don't have to be, I don't want to say you don't have to be careful, but like when you're drilling spot welds or something like that, if you go too far, you can weld it up or whatever. But we really wanted to try to make this car to where he didn't have to do any paint work. So that was another part of this, is this car got, no exterior paintwork by the end. And, from de-skinning it from the inside to completely to the outside and not damage anything was difficult.
Sure.
That's quite a feat too, man. There's a main hoop and some bars in the roof there. Looks like just kind of the beginning stages of the cage.
Yep. Yeah. So that's pretty much where we start. We'll take and fit all the main tubes that we need the body for, like main hoop, A-pillars, driver structure, things like that. And then the body usually comes off and we'll fit everything else on the jig, inside the perimeter of the main hoop, A-pillars, etc. So right there, we're just setting everything to get us a good base to move forward.
Cool. Huh. Got some tubes in the floor there. So the bottom picture, is that Greg's cage coming out?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because you can see the sheet metal of the floor, the stock floor underneath where it's come down, sitting on the concrete. It looks like
exactly. Yeah. Right. We pretty much get the Sawzall out and go to town on it to get the brunt of the things out of the way, and then and believe it or not, we do pretty much everything the Flintstone way. So it takes we get like 6 people and we lift all the cars off the bodies like that. So there's no gantry frame, there's no lift, there's no. So when people are like, hey, what special tools do you use? My friends, I don't know. Like, we don't really have much as far as, anything outside of what necessarily you can put at home to do it. Manpower for that part of it.
1, 2, 3, lift.
Exactly. And we're all different heights, so that makes it interesting.
Yeah, well, they got some strong guys in there because when I dropped the car off, I brought them a Hemi block that they could use for mock-up that Troy Aves gave me. And your other compadre, he goes out and looks at it, and they're going to get a forklift or something. He just looks at it, and kind of just picks it up and carries the block into the cast iron block into the shop.
He's not in his 50s, is he?
No. Throws it over his shoulder.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Man. Look at that. This is looking good here.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
That is a ton of work.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, that's a lot of tube. A lot of tubes with the whole back structure of that thing. Because I think in that picture, the number 1 bar and everything is in there, but that has like a whole setback rear structure for the 4-link bars, etc., to be able to get those to a more ideal length. So I don't know. It kind of reminds me of a trophy truck mixed with a helicopter in this picture.
Right.
All right. Do you guys document how many feet of tube you use on a build?
Oh, great question.
I would have to look at what it is.
Sure.
But yes, we do. Yeah. It's it's a good amount. Like one of our kits is like, I think like a 25-3 is like 5 sticks of 1 5/8. So Greg's is probably 6 or 7 sticks, just because the bars are so long. Yeah, it's a good amount.
How long is it?
Yeah, I'd say 20 or 24 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, that's a lot of tube.
Yeah.
So what do you guys remember what the chassis weighed right there?
If I remember right, I want to say the chassis was, I want to say like, what was it? Wasn't it like 275 or something like that? I think it was sub 300. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Man.
I think that's about right.
Yeah, not bad. Like we were shocked that it was, this thing's encroaching Fox body territory.
Oh man,
That's awesome.
So Andrew, you said you did, like 85% of the work. Was this like every day you come in? Was this your job? You went to this table and you worked on this car?
Yeah, pretty much. So that's kind of what, I want to say what sets us aside a little bit from other chassis shops is, we really try not to do the chassis shop jail, which it has its own challenges. So you don't get, backed up to where somebody's, sitting there with twiddling their thumbs if they only have one build to work on. But otherwise, if we're on a build, I'm on your car till it's done. So it's every day, 40 hours a week until that car is completed. So, sometimes there'll be another car to work on if we do run into a hang up on parts or something like that. But for the most part, 40 hours a week, every day, you eat, sleep, and breathe that car.
Mm.
Yeah, a lot less details get missed when you have one person that works on the car. So like, most shops or some, they'll have like, they'll have a chassis guy, then it goes to, body, and then it goes to finishing. Well, just along the way, there's different steps that get missed or like small details. And we've just found it more efficient just to keep one person on it. Like we might have someone come in and, say Mark comes in and does tubs for Andrew while Andrew's working on something else. But generally that fabricator knows all the details of that build.
Right.
And kind of, we also do that. Fabricator will keep customer communications also.
Okay.
So if they need to reach out, because there's always going to be questions. There's always going to be like, hey, where do you want this? Or, it's just a lot easier to have that one fabricator contacting a customer. It just kind of keeps it uniform.
So are you, if, Andrew's project manager right here on this build, are you having a meeting in the morning saying, hey, I need this, and you get this ordered so we can have it to kind of see it, the build out, look ahead there?
Yeah, generally every Monday, like they'll let me know, they'll put together like a game plan Friday. And then Monday morning we have our meetings, and they'll let me know like, hey, this kind of plan of what I'm doing. And we have two, kind of junior fabricators that are working with Mark and Andrew. They're getting to the point of doing more chassis work now, but probably during this stage, they're doing, just some fit up stuff. And so they have a game plan for that also.
Great.
Cool. Matt, how many guys do you have out in the shop working on cars like this?
So we got 4 of them doing any like the in-house builds. And then we have 2 or 3 guys doing our cage kits. And then currently we have me, Sydney, and Taylor up in the front office.
Okay.
Cool. This little interior shot. Yeah. Some nice tin work and some carbon work. This is kind of ahead of the cart a little bit, but I was just throwing the pictures in there, and there's a ton of them.
No, that's good.
Yeah, it looks nice. Is that steel or titanium?
The floor is steel. The top of the floor is steel. The bottom's carbon. You got to have steel for rules, and then I put carbon on the bottom because it really, really bugged the crap out of me that one side looks different than the other. So that's just my personal preference that I'm weird about on things like that. But yeah, so it's all bead rolled tin on top, and then the tunnel and side pieces are all like carbon glass.
Cool. Russell Foreman calls that a pro mod.
Yeah, it's the only pro mod that has still has a working hood and trunk.
That's right. Yeah. Hinging hood and factory working trunk lid. Also another interesting part of the build there, but I also think it adds that much cool factor to it.
Sure.
I freaking love it when you're working on the car. Just pull 2 hood pins and open the hood. It's awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a cool factor for sure.
Yeah.
Some little detailed interior shots, shifter and parachute handle.
Yeah, and so pretty much everything you see on most of the cars that we build, like I said, that one fabricator, if they're the ones working on it. Like Mark did some tubs and rear carbon work and stuff on the car that turned out really, really good. But all the other little detailed stuff you see, as the fabricator on it, you're not just the tube fit man, so to speak. You do all of the tin work, all of the hard plumbing for the brakes and the fire system, is all kind of done by that person. So when you kind of look at the details of the car, I feel like you can really see who built it and who took the time. Like the fire lines and brake lines on that car are super nice because that's one of the things that, the whole car is nice, but that's one of those things that I hardcore focus on that's super satisfying for me when it looks really good. So you can kind of see some of that in that picture.
Attention to the detail. That's awesome.
Yeah. Real nice.
And then do you have vendors with parts? Like, do you decide what shifter, what fire system? Like, how does all that work?
I'll let Matt chime in on that one.
Yeah, like sometimes we have customers that are, they have specific parts they want to use, which I don't have a problem with as long as there's like, hey, we have this part. Is it okay, if we use this? Obviously, sometimes we're like, well, we like to use this one, or if there's a reason why. But generally, we have, different vendors that we use for certain parts that we like to use or know how it's mounted correctly or something like that.
Right. Oh, we got an engine up front in there. Look at that. Phew.
Struts.
Man. Is this the engine here? Is this a kind of a reconfigured of the other one, or is it a whole different animal? Besides, it's a billet block, but
it's the exact same engine. I sent it to Bess and had it refreshed, and they shipped it directly to MRC for fitment.
Cool.
Nice.
Did they dyno this one too?
Yeah, they did. I actually pulled some compression. It was 12. The previous motor was 12-1, and we dropped it down to 11.7 because we're planning on putting a lot more boost on it. And Bess recommended that he just thought the tuning window would be too small at 12-1.
Sure.
So we dropped it down. So the horsepower did drop a little bit. I think that with the lower compression, I think it made 780 horsepower naturally aspirated.
That's getting it, man. That's getting it.
And now you said it's a 426, 27 ish.
I think now it's a 430 is where we're at right now.
Man,
Nice piece.
wow.
And it still has the cast heads. It's got the billet block. It's got the cast heads that are all milled out to take the Jessel equipment. But the block is solid, and the heads were dry decked. Mainly, we already discussed that. Brett at best, he thought, it's safer with the dry decked heads. Like if you lift the head, you don't necessarily have the water. That kind of thing. So, but I just didn't realize those damn fittings were going to kill us. And if I had it all to do over again, just anybody that's dry decking a Gen 3 Hemi, find another place to tap into the head for those back.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if you're going to mount it on a Pro Mod style mid plate and the firewall is very steep, straight up and down, which it is in this car because the engine's pretty straight under the cowl. Yeah, and you want those fittings. I will say they are 100% serviceable. You can take them completely out, fix any leaks, etc., without removing the engine. But yeah, it took some work to get there. That's for dang sure.
Sure.
That's one where I'm wanting to kick myself in my own rear on that one, but it's all water under the bridge.
Right.
A solid roller piece.
Yep, a solid roller. It's got the big Jessel keyed lifters and all that good stuff. The cam in it with the rocker ratio and everything's about 830.
Shoo.
Nice piece.
Nice, real nice. Man, can't wait to see this thing.
Right. So, Andrew, you decide to where it goes and set it all in, get the motor, get the tranny, and go to town?
Yep. Get everything lined up. Everything kind of has a process. So I used the mock-up block that he's talking about that he gave us. That'll get used to set the mid plate hoop and kind of get most of the motor mounts done. That way I'm not, cutting and grinding and banging around, that really nice piece. So I'll use that first. And then once we get farther, like fitting the double frame rail and things like that, we like to use the engine that they are going to use just for any accessories, et cetera, just to make sure, you don't mount something directly in the way of something else because it gets tight in a hurry.
Yeah. Russell Foreman says that's going to be a cool car. Can't wait to see it in person.
Yes.
And Chris Paget kind of says the same. He says this car is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm ready. I want to see it do some work.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a cool inside shot.
Man, that is
carbon and tubes, and man, it's really nice.
really nice. Wow. I don't think it's a family car anymore, Greg.
No, we can fit a seat in the middle back there.
Well, we talked about with all that space, Andrew suggested maybe we put a cooler back there or a refrigerator or something, never got around to it. But the previous configuration, I had a passenger seat, power windows, power locks.
Sure.
Now I'm really slumming it with, solid windows and all that stuff.
Yeah. No, it looks fantastic. Over the top. Super nice. Super jealous over here. Very nice.
Is that painted or powder coated chassis?
Wow,
no,
that's a sore subject with me. And this is nothing on the MRC. We talked about it, and what I should have done is we should have figured out a way to get the chassis and the shell off to a paint shop before we mated it together. But we didn't, and part of it, you don't want to slow down the build, and those kind of things really put a hold on the build, and I didn't really want to powder coat it. And so we decided, well, we'll just go ahead and put it together and I'll paint it when we get it back. And there's just a lot of little nooks and crannies in there that are flipping nightmare to paint. I'm telling you. And so what happened is I got the car back, and kind of the depressing thing about building a car like this is that's especially when the chassis is not painted is the first thing you have to do is strip the entire car down to nothing.
Mm.
So you get this beautiful car back.
Oh man!
And first everything's in a different place. So I started out. I wanted to do anything that might scratch the chassis first. So I started fitting up all of the fluid lines, and there was a couple of brackets that had to be welded and some things like that. And I got all that work done, and then I started disassembling the car, and I got it almost completely disassembled, and my back went completely out. I'm talking, I could hardly walk to the bathroom from the bed. It was bad. And it just totally took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it. And so the car sat in the shop for 3 weeks untouched, and it had already been sitting there for a couple of 2 or 3 weeks while I was working on the fluid lines and stuff. And so by the time I got back out there, it's just rust all over the chassis.
Oh man!
And I couldn't do anything. And my son, thank God for my son, he came over and he spent, I don't know how many hours my son spent on this car. We had to clean all the rust, and everybody knows this routine if you've been through this before. And then we decided we're moving so slow, we couldn't even go like clean the whole chassis and then paint it because it would rust again before we could get it painted, And so we were in a mode of, do a section of the car, get the rust off, sand it, clean it, prime it, move to the next section. And I literally finished that process yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And so the moral to this story is no matter how painful it is in a build, paint your chassis and the inside of your shell, even if the chassis wants to kill you for stopping the build, because it is terrible. And I was to a point where my back was so bad, I would literally go out to the shop and work for 10 or 15 minutes, and I had to go back in.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I've gotten to where we're at now. And like I said, my son, I don't know how many, 30, 40 hours he spent out there working on this chassis. So a huge thanks to him.
Yeah.
But,
wow.
Now I'm fighting to just maybe be able to be ready for the season.
Sure.
But in that picture there, the long answer to the question is that's just bare chassis there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it looks good. It looks like it's got a, like a gray powder coat or a paint. It looks really nice. It looks good.
Oh yeah, it looked. I wish it could have, with the welding and everything that Andrew did. I wish I could have just left it bare.
Just clear it. Put a clear on it.
Just put some clear coat on it. The thought crossed my mind.
There's some more nice carbon work, man.
Yeah. Very nice.
There's a rear end up under the back there.
Yeah, and so we built, that one, all the 4-link bars, housing, everything's all made in-house. You can kind of see a glimpse of the tub work in there that Mark did. But yeah, it's like full floater housing that's built in-house. And so, I also took care of that and the wishbone and stuff on this build too. So we kind of do literally dang near every part.
Awesome. Greg, you just gonna run with radials and that's it? You ever gonna put a slick on or just radial only?
Well, with all the way these classes are going, I don't know. And I watched Matt. I saw him put some slicks on his car and set the 4-link up and go down pretty good. So
you put the little dinky ones on, didn't you?
Yeah, some of these races, if I have to put a 10.5 slick on there and go run, I will. I'll have to have Matt help me set the suspension up on. But I've never even had a 4-link, so I have no idea what I'm doing. It'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'll learn.
Nick Weaver says, the man Matt Moore, get to work. He's a great guy, by the way. Troy, there's your billet brother.
Yeah.
Troy says, I saw it the other day dropping off stuff to Greg. They did a great job, and it's looking good.
Nice.
The other billet Hemi guy.
Yeah.
Man. What's next here? Some parachutes and is that?
Yep. So next to some things you don't really think about, I guess, is that Mark kind of started the parachute mount on this, and I think I finished it up. But the weird part about this car was that the deck lid still hinges, right? And that creates a problem from how most people normally mount, the parachutes. Because usually you either have, just a stub coming off the bottom that goes up and holds the chutes, or if you want something lightweight, like kind of how we do them, where it's made out of, like 1/2 inch or 3/8 round tube, you've got supports that go to the trunk. Well, there's really no great way to make those unhook, etc., for the trunk to still open easily. So we kind of had to overbuild the chute mount. And then while we were there, we're like, let's just build it strong enough you can push the car from it. Kind of like, you see that on pro mods and stuff. And so that thing is stout. Like you can push the whole car with that, like no problem.
Wow.
Yeah, they even put some handles on the sides to grab a hold of.
Okay.
To push with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And then one of the other things that, this is I don't know, I'm a plumbing weirdo, I guess. All the airlines, I figured out that you can kind of like heat warm form the airlines. So they're like perfectly molded out of the bumper with bends, because you can put them in a little tubing bender and kind of give them not a lot of heat, just a little bit with a heat gun, and then hold it there till they cool, and it cools in that spot. So this is another little weird thing.
Yeah, you can see them have a little bend on it there.
Yeah.
Huh.
Learning
Good
it
to
all.
know. Learn something.
Is that wing in house, or did you make that?
No, that was the wing that was on it, and I think it looked pretty good. There's no reason.
What's that, Greg?
Holzman did that wing for me quite a number of years ago.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, Nick Weaver says great tip on that.
Yep.
Heating up that plastic tubing. Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to work. It was definitely a try it. And then I was like, Matt, check this out. This freaking worked.
I want to try it. I want to do it too.
So the front end removable, Greg?
Yep. The front clip comes off. The hood opens, so the hood stays on, and then you just pull off the body, which is good because the fenders are pretty light, but that front fascia is pretty damn heavy. And the hood, even though it's carbon fiber, it's really a carbon fiber skin on fiberglass, and so that hood is not super light either. I think that hood weighs 30 pounds, and not having the hood attached, that's originally what I asked him to do, but there were some complications in the way that aftermarket hood's made, and so Andrew, like he did with a lot of things, just worked outside of the box and figured out a way to make it work, and it turned out super cool because, like I said, the hood opening, I love that, man, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and that hood was shaped like the inside was multi-layered like a factory hood, right? So it wasn't flat, like skinny flat like a fiberglass hood. So there was nowhere to go with any Zeus rails or anything like that. So you really couldn't mount it, in a traditional way. And they make no composite parts for that car too. So that was one of the other things of, you can't really get a front end for it. So hence why, things got that stormtrooper looking structure inside of it to kind of hold everything together.
Yeah. That looks nice.
Yeah, but the fenders and the front fascia are all bolted together, so you just take the Zeus fasteners off, and I think there's 8 fasteners, and then the whole front end pulls off, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Handy.
That's where that's kind of where I let the fabricators run with it. Like I'll do a lot of the design work, but a lot of the detail stuff, Mark and Andrew are really good about the small details, and just let them run with it.
Sure.
That
Which
goes
is really
back
nice
to
on my end.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what I said Matt's favorite phrase was of when I ask him what I do, he says, I don't know, you're the fabricator. So I think there's something to be said about how good that makes you at, I don't know, you're the fabricator doing things.
Yeah. Get back out there and figure it out.
Yeah. Shut the door, you're letting the air out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, he knows when he hears me shuffling, I got something I should probably just go figure out myself.
Sure.
This rear-end housing.
Yeah, rear-end, yeah.
Some fine welding on this piece.
Yeah, those are by far my favorite things to weld. I totally just headphones in and I get a lot of enjoyment out of welding the housings.
Good. You're very good at it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Oh,
I
cool
thought
picture.
these pictures were cool. There's two of these like this. It looks really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Go
ahead.
No, I was probably going to say the same thing. There's a safety light in our shop, and it's just so like when we come in the back door that we can see if we're gonna stab our knees on an engine block or something. But it makes for some really cool pictures every time.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's literally like a baby nightlight plugged into an extension cord drop coming from the ceiling, and I came in on a Saturday. And I don't know, I was either grabbing something or getting ready to do something. I don't remember. And I walked in and it was just sitting there under the light. And I'm like, man, that looks freaking cool. I got to get a picture of that because, I don't know, it just kind of fit a vibe.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a studio staged photo shoot type of deal.
It does.
Yeah, you just need a nightlight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't give away all your secrets.
Another one, the same deal.
That's cool. They're in there talking to each other. That's what's going on.
Yep.
Definitely.
Here we go.
More. That's a ton of work, man. Jeez.
This is on some sort of rotisserie or something, guys?
Yeah. So it's on all of the chassis. It's a pretty, I don't know, Matt, pretty basic setup. You guys made that long before I was there. It's just some rectangle tube welded together with, more or less set up like an engine stand, with a tube that slides into the frame, and then you just, spin it to a position and pin it.
Yeah.
Use that also. No, go ahead, Matt.
I was just saying it's just some hose clamps that holds the chassis on there. So it's pretty basic. It works really, really good.
Good.
Do you use this also when you're welding the chassis so you can get around it and not have to lay on the floor and crawl around and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we try and weld everything on the chassis. Like we try and get it most done on the chassis jig because it does move some.
Yeah.
But so we try and weld most of it, and then a lot of the upside down stuff because we'll weld the floor. So kind of the process we'll lay out the floor, build the whole floor. Weld the top of the floor, flip the floor over on the jig where it lands back in the same clamps, weld that, and then we'll build up and then weld as much as we can. That way the floor is not going to move any once you have it completely welded, and then build up from there. And then we take it off, put it on the rotisserie. So it gets probably 90 to 95% welded on the jig. And then the last, 5% gets welded on the rotisserie like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Great picture.
There's a little more of that. Oh, lots of welding. Holy cow.
Yeah, just a note on all these pics. I think Andrew had almost 1,000 pictures, and they would be, if not weekly, probably bi-weekly updates with pictures and showing the progress on a car. And I really appreciated that, from a communication standpoint with the shop, to take the time to let the customer see the progress is a huge plus. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, definitely. No, and I still owe you a flash drive with 1,000 photos on it of the build process because I have a ton.
Man.
Hey Matt, quick question. Like as far as you're talking about having meetings, project build and stuff, just what Greg's talking about, do you hook up with does the project lead talk to the customer every week or every other week or?
Yeah. So what kind of our process is, I'll approve time. So like we use an app on their phone to track time. So I'll approve the time, and then each fabricator will do like the invoicing for that week. So our invoices are pretty detailed. Like it's not just like, chassis, 35 hours. It's pretty detailed on like what we do on it. So the fabricator will send that and pictures. So we try and every week update, just what's going on. It just makes it to try and keep the communication open.
That's
because obviously you're spending money with us. You at least want to know what we're working on.
Yeah.
So
the communication factor with MRC was fantastic. just to give you a customer perspective. I mean, I can't imagine that any shop could do any better on that front.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate that.
And I don't know if they have a nickname for me or not, because I try not to be too much of a pain in the ass, but customers, sometimes we think we know stuff and then we find out that we don't know as much as the chassis shop does. But nevertheless, they work with me and every step of the way, every little change, there was communication. I appreciate that a bunch.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's nice to, you got your friends, your family, whoever, and how's your car coming? Well, let me show you. This is what they did this week. Where instead of be like, well, I don't know, I haven't heard nothing for 3 months. I guess it's going okay.
Yeah.
Well, and at the end of the day, we've all raced. At least me and Matt race, and we know what it takes for somebody to build a car, much less a car of this level. And when you're going somewhere and you're spending, the kind of money that this costs, and kind of letting me make a work of art, we want to keep as much communication as possible, and that way you know where your money's going, so to speak. Otherwise, like Matt said, you're just going to get a bill that says worked on car, $5,000, and
Right.
So it gets over detailed, but I think it's important.
Yeah, I think that's where, we, like Andrew said, we still race, we still pay for racing. I am the customer on, multiple fronts on buying parts. So, we kind of see what we don't like and what we like, and, try and tailor it to fit the customer's needs.
R&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Very cool.
More work, man. On rotisserie on the top picture and on the table in the bottom there.
Yeah, so that's just in one of the various stages. I don't know, Matt, what do you think total? How many hours did we have in this thing? I want to say it was close to 1,500.
I thought so. Yeah, I think it was something like that.
So it's for the people that are at home and you're doing it yourself at home and you're like, oh my gosh, this is taking me an ungodly amount of time. Just know it takes me an ungodly amount of time as well. And, I've probably done it more times than the guy at home. So, it's just, no matter which way you look at it, it's a ton of work.
Yeah. It looks, you'd get a little thing and now this will just take an hour. 3 hours later, you're still messing with it. It's like some stuff is just extremely time consuming if you want to do it right.
Exactly.
And that's the hard part. Yeah. That's the hard part is we don't know every solution. There's a lot of times we have to step back and look at it. So at home, you have the luxury of I'll look at it for an hour or two and go inside, hang out, and then come back down and look at it. But for us, we're, that's chart, we're thinking about it. That's either build hours or, lost time somewhere, something like that. So it's we have to think semi quick about it. So we're not wasting tons of hours, and that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Man, look at that engine, turbo, fuel tank.
Yeah. So, Matt's kind of the more builds I've done, because I'm, in the scope of things, I'm still a pretty green fabricator. I guess I would say. I don't know, Matt. I think I'm going on this will be my 4th year in May, I think.
I think so.
But so, each build, I think Matt throws me a little more, and a little more of things to do. So this might have been I think second or third, maybe hot side, cold side that I did, and it was kind of a wild one to get things in a certain location and kind of where we wanted it flowing right with the wastegates in the right place, and just like I said, the front end you ran out of room in a hurry. But the goal is here is Greg is supposed to put another turbo right off the side right there without a ton of work.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They
Them
made the
Bill boys
chassis
like the
so
twins.
light. They made the chassis so light. I don't know if I'll ever go there.
There you
And
go.
I didn't imagine the amount of weight that was going to come off the car. We don't have the final number yet because we
I
got
was
the
going to
running,
ask that.
Yes,
we
right.
got the running thing. Once I get it all back together and get it started up and fluids in it, we'll weigh it. But it ended up coming in lighter than I expected. And
Great.
initially, I thought we would probably end up having to put the twins on it to run LDR.
Uh-huh.
But now I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to be able to, if I'm going to run the 98 single because the car is so light. So I don't know yet. I think it's probably going to be the 122, but nevertheless.
Yeah, I told you the $1 for spot welds was worth it.
Yeah.
So what turbo is in this picture?
That's a PTE 110 Pro Mod.
Okay.
It's a 110 on the compressor side, and then it's a 114 X-Deucer on the turbine side.
Cool.
And is that per LDR rules? Are you smaller than that yet?
Well, I'd like to go down to the 98. I don't know if it's going to be quite light enough, but I just, it's the game you play, right? You'd kind of like to have the lighter car and not have to kill the engine as much every pass. Because the next step up, I go clear to the 122, which PTE, as I found out, doesn't even necessarily have a 122 that fits the LDR rules. So I've been on the phone with PTE on it, and I think they're going to have to talk to John Sears about it. But I decided to just hold off until we get the final weight in, and it's either going to have in the same config. They just bolt on, right? These different turbos in the Pro Mod. So it's either going to have the 98 or the 122 on it in that same configuration.
Right. Cool.
Very cool.
With the LDR, are you going to chase that with all because they have like a series? Are you going to try to run that whole series or just pick a few here and there?
Well, right now I'm going to have to pick a few here and there. I really started to look at it for this next year, but while I'm working, I'm just not going to be able to swing the schedule. I'm not going to be able to too many races. So I figure maybe I may not even run it at all this year, but I'm maybe one race this year just to kind of get my feet wet. But I don't want to drive 20 hours and not qualify.
Right.
So if I can run a bottom 4 here on our local tracks, then I'll probably go. So we'll see where it turns out.
Cool.
But if you do the math, 476 with an IRS suspension on a 124 60 foot and take 850 pounds off,
it's going to
go a little faster. So.
Oh yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Do you have any plans to do some local stuff like Titans, any of that type of stuff?
This year I'm going to try to run the Titans. Like I said, I'm screwed right now because of my health condition of getting the car done, but my son's helping as much as he can. And we're going to try to make the Centerville race, but we've got a shit ton of work to do.
Right.
Put the whole car back together. I have all the fluid lines done. They just need to be, put on. But then I've got, how it is. This is basically a new car.
Yeah.
It looks the same, but everything's in a different place. The fuel cell was in the rear. Now it's in the front. The oil canister's in a different place. The electronics are even at a different place. So I've almost got to rewire the whole car.
Oh, man.
And I was looking at it, and I think that I can just put the existing engine harness in there anyway. The rest of it will still have to be rewired, but get the engine harness in an ugly manner just to make the season this year. The plan was to, repin everything and clean the harness all up and make it look really nice. But if I want to race this year, I'm just going to have to cut some corners. And I think that's the one corner I'm going to cut. I'm just going to put the harness in as bad as it looks this year. And then next season we'll clean it up.
Right. Man.
Very cool.
It looks like there's a ton of room up there. Come on.
Yeah, it runs out. That's what we thought too. And then we started shoving stuff up there, and I'm like,
man. Yeah.
Yeah, the front end from the front of the wheel to the front of the nose of the car is is pretty dang short. So that was kind of where in clocking the turbo, et cetera, and getting it where it was, that's kind of where it posed a little bit of challenge. Because with the front end off, we can attest. Me and Greg had this conversation where I'm like, dude, it looks like there's a lot. And then you put the front end on and take a picture of it down, and it's like that turbo is touching the bumper almost. And so it's like, wait, where'd all the room go?
Right.
Yeah, I tried to keep my nose out of the build as much as I could, but the turbo stuff is kind of something that's really important to me, the way things are configured. And I had this grand ideas about how the inlet to the turbo and this and that and the other thing. And Andrew's like, yeah, there's not room. And I'm looking at the car like, what do you mean there's not room? And so we had a video call, and he's showing me on the video, and I'm like, son of a bitch. It's just not room to do all this stuff that I wanted to do. And part, what's really funny about it is part of it was, taking things apart, making it easy to work on the car and take things apart.
That's super important.
The way that Andrew did it, you can pull the whole front clip off of the car, and you can unbolt, obviously the oil lines on the turbo, but you can unbolt 3 V-band clamps and lift the entire turbo system off intact off the car.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And that, I don't know if everybody's picturing that in their head, but that's huge, man. When you got to work on the car or something, and you can just pull the entire induction system off, forced induction system off, and a hot side and everything all in one piece. That's a big deal. So a lot of little neat things like that ended up, that might be a little bit by chance, but the hood and other things that Andrew did to make the car easier to work on is really cool.
You gotta be careful doing that.
I definitely overthink on a lot of that. If Matt can probably tell you, if there's something I got to come up with a solution for, it's probably overcomplicated. But usually it's for something like that where I've thought about it a gajillion million different ways, and if I do it a certain way and it's a pain in the ass, it's because I went through every other possible way, and that was the least pain in the ass you were going to get out of the options.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it kind of helps to with that we also race is we know where it sucks to work on things.
Right.
Yeah.
We know where it's a pain in the ass, and we try and alleviate that. Yep.
Got to get to the spark plugs, but they're not an issue anyway on your deal. But yeah,
like is this gonna be the converter or full deal? I mean,
yeah. You won't catch me or Matt with up and forward headers on an LS. It just won't happen.
No,
I will spend 5 times the amount of time making down and forwards in the worst configuration possible just to avoid that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ironically, I don't think you can really see it in these pictures, but the headers that are on there were originally on the car, and they were done by Performance Welding Solutions here in Wichita. He made me a set of custom turbo headers, Rion.
Yeah, right.
And they're really nice, and I wanted to reuse them, but at first we weren't quite sure. It comes down to you don't want to build a new set of headers if you got a nice set of headers, but the shit's got to fit in the car,
Right.
Yep.
And so they ended up making that work. But there was just, on a build like this, especially with the Chrysler 300, there was just quite a number of those types of things.
Yeah, a lot of the newer cars, the front ends are getting shorter. Like any newer Mustang, like any of the newer cars, the front spindle to nose is so short. It's not like it's not like a G body where there's tons of room. I don't know what that's about, aerodynamics or whatever, but it's a challenge.
You got room for 4 turbos up there, Greg. Come on. So is this going to have I see an alternator there, right? Yep, cool. Street car.
Well, with a solid block, it's not going to be too streetable. But I'll tell you, though, you have to drive 10 miles out at Mad, if you don't have a push bar.
That's right.
And this car, with the heads are water cooled on it, and with the methanol, I had an oil cooler on it previously, and it's not going to be on there on this new configuration, but I could drive this thing around for miles with the methanol, and it wouldn't overheat.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that the engine cooler or oil cooler or tranny cooler up in the corner?
The far corner is the dry sump tank, and
on the driver's side.
And up front there's the new fuel cell that they built.
No, he's back in the corner is the radiator.
Firewall.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. That goes back to it's a street car.
Yes. Here you go.
If they did like a 5-mile cruise, I think I could make it. A 30-mile, probably not.
Hey, we know a guy that can make it drag and drive. It would work.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's what I originally wanted to do. That was kind of a popular thing, and then when I couldn't get a aluminum block that didn't split down the middle at 1,500 horsepower, I had to go with the billet, and so that kind of put the kibosh on that deal.
Yeah.
You need to get you a billet water block for spare.
We'll see how Troy does. I'm going to let my billet brother test that one out.
Let him R&D that.
I know he dynoed, he said over 2,000 at the hub, so he's well on his way. But this engine here, to do what I need to do in LDR, I'm going to be pushing probably 2,800 horsepower.
Woo. Yeah, you want it to stay together.
And so that's why I said if I could get lighter and go with the 98 and bring the boost down a little bit, that would be optimal. I just, it's a big damn car. I just don't know. I mean, they did everything known to mankind that could be done to get the weight down. And so it's just going to be what it's going to be at this point.
Mm. So with LDR, you mentioned the 122 and the 98. Does that come with different weights, those two turbo sizes?
Yeah. The 98 is just a little over 2,600 pounds and full race weight, and the 122 in this configuration, because there's penalties for the little Hemi, believe it or not, it's ridiculous.
Right.
Don't get me started on it. But, there's a 170 pound penalty for having a small block Hemi. It's more than the damn penalty for a true Hemi. It's crazy. But in any case, with the 122 in there, it's like a little under 2,800 pounds. So that would kind of give you a feel of where I expect the car weight to be on it.
Right. So those weight penalties, you can blame Rob Goss on that?
Yep.
Is that? Holy cow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's Troy. He says the damn Goss rule. At least it's not 350 anymore.
I probably shouldn't get into this because, John Sears is going to end up seeing this video and it's going to be the end of my LDR time. But everybody can bitch about every rule on everything. But
sure.
One of the things that we didn't complete on this is reincorporating the front frame rails back into the car, which I have to do before we go to LDR. And there's a lot of ambiguity when you have a unibody car like this. What does the frame consist of, right? What's the frame? Well, on this car, it's pretty much the rocker. Is from the firewall back, the frame is the rocker, and then forward of the firewall, there's frame rails, which, like I said, are going to have to be reincorporated in. So technically, other than some gussets in the floor that are gone now, I have full frame rails from the firewall to the rear wheel opening. And then I'll have frame rails. Now, again, I know you're laughing, but go read the LDR rules and tell me. But so that's kind of a sore spot with me with the rules. But I know they have a reason for it, that they're trying to, probably keep some cars from going and running that class and whatnot. But we believe the car will be LDR legal when it's completed.
Cool. Wow. We're kind of winding down on the picks.
Should I move on to our topic, or you got a couple more?
Just a couple more. Is this about like pickup day almost, or is it just out getting a suntan?
This was, I think the day before. And mind you, we don't get to see. I always complain because usually the car gets done and it gets picked up within 2 hours of when it's done. And I always complain that we see it on jack stands all high up in the ground, up in the air while you're putting the whole thing together. And like, we don't get to see it in its true, like, dumped, badass looking form. Except for like 30 minutes when we put it on the ground and we're like, all right, I'll be here in 30 minutes. Like, you just spent a year every day of this being your blood, sweat, and tears. You get to look at it for 30 minutes and then you never see it again. So this car I got done, I think, maybe a day before. And I was like, it's going outside. I want to see what this thing looks like, in its complete form. And I'm glad I did. It's pretty freaking sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Stand back 15 feet and take it all in.
Yeah.
Exactly. And say you made that from a pile of material on a shelf.
Yeah.
160-pound skin.
Yeah.
Right.
The hood is cool. I just completely dig that hood.
Yeah, definitely.
On hinges or shocks or whatever has it.
And the trunk.
And one last kind of funny note, you can see that there's a hole up there on the upper rear part of the front passenger fender. That's where my turbo used to set and exit. And then the previous turbo configuration, when it was a street car, I had twin turbos up front, and they exited on each side where this turbo in this picture currently exits. So I had three holes. I had one on each side of the front of the car and then one up on the fender. And so when I dropped the car off, I said, I've already got these 3 damn holes in here for the turbo. And I said, I don't want to drill any more holes in the car for the turbo exhaust. I said, so pick one of the 3 holes. And so that was a little bit of a laugh when we dropped the car off.
That's funny.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yes.
Yeah, and the one other thing is the headlights are I de-lensed the factory headlights, like heated them up, baked them to get the glue loose, and de-lensed the factory headlights, and then they're backed with carbon fiber sheet inside of them, so it kind of gave them a neat, like, smoked-ish look.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool. All those little things,
I think this is Mrs. Harper. She says the car looks amazing. So happy for you, Greg. More race chassis did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just did. There's a good picture.
It is a family car. Look at that.
There you go.
I just shoved everyone in there.
When they sent this picture, I thought it was photoshopped.
Right.
Yeah.
I really did.
You got 7 people in there?
7, yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
I remember this on Facebook, if I remember right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just looked I looked at how many hours we did. It was 1,540 of like clocked
okay.
hours.
You're right.
So some of that's not bill, stuff we, were thinking about or changed or whatever. But yeah, that's how many hours they were clocked into that.
Wow.
So
Yeah, so like I said, when you're the guy at home and you're like, oh my gosh, this is taking me 2 years to build this car.
Yeah.
Just know it's a ton at that level. So don't beat yourself up.
Yeah. Is this at your place now, Greg? Is this picture?
Yeah, that's the night I brought it home, and you can see there the front end off, but the hood and the trunk open on it.
Sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, cool.
And you sent us this one today, Greg.
Yep, just finally finished painting that damn chassis.
Man.
But it came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy. You build $1 million chassis and then rattle can it. But
Sure.
I know from my other chassis, it's really nice when you got to touch something up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we as people that race, I can tell you it's gonna get jacked up no matter what. And yeah, yep. I can attest to it's don't do anything great because you're gonna be touching it up to keeping it looking good. So
yeah. My car's in the paint shop, and me and the painter talked, and I said, don't do nothing fancy out in the engine bay. That's just a workspace. It's going to get beat up. I said, I still got tabs and stuff to weld on. He's like, you're not done welding? I was like, no, I didn't have everything yet. I got to finish doing some stuff. He goes, well, I'm not painting this with Tractor Supply paint. It's going to be nice. I said, well, I'm going to grind on it and weld on it because I got to finish doing some stuff to it. So right. I said, don't make it too dang nice. But we'll see.
Well, that's kind of the kicker a little bit is like, so where you saw like, you know, Greg's car and the pictures of outside. So that's at the point we would take a whole car and it would be to that point right there. I like to, this is kind of my, I don't know, when I joke about at work is I want you to build the entire car, do everything, and get in it to where you're about to hit the button and start it, then take the entire car back apart and paint it.
Oh,
so yeah. And so that's why it just, even if we do it, it still really sucks because you're taking, you know, you're pretty much get it to hit the key and it run, and then take the whole thing back apart and paint it, and then final assembly. Because otherwise, you're going to be welding on it. You're going to be doing something different. It's just like you said, you know, you still got tabs to weld on or you didn't have everything. Yep. So, yeah, that part sucks. No, and I've painted quite a few of them. So I definitely feel for you on that one. It is not the funnest task. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So literally tomorrow I start putting it back together.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
It's nice when the ratchet goes to on.
Right. Yes. Righty tighty.
Yeah. No more lefty loosey.
Yeah. Righty tighty.
Yeah.
Well, that is all the pictures we got. Or some of them I didn't use, but there was a ton of them.
Here, so Matt's gonna laugh at me right now. So my phone was charged to 100% before I started this, and just to give you an idea, I'm at 18%. So if I drop out by the end of this, that's why.
Okay.
I think you'll be all right. You'll be good.
I think so. What we were talking about earlier too, you know, appreciate you guys coming on. Another picture we had that we're going to talk about now for a few minutes is you know, like you said, you guys race as well. And so we thought we'd bring you in and talk through this now instead of without you guys when you're in the green room. But just bring it out here. So you've seen the whole clocks on, clocks off deal, you know, that whole topic. I think it kind of blew up again this week. The whole winter series is now going on with the 28-10-5 tire, if you will. And so just a question, you know, we can start with Matt. What's your thought?
Clocks on 100%.
Yep.
I am not clocks off. I despise it. I get it, and I get why it's done. It just does not for the fans. And I mean, that's why we race. It's, you know, you have to get fans in the stands. There's not, if it's just racers, the track's not gonna be open any longer. Sure. So I'm 100% on the clocks on.
Yep.
What about you, Andrew?
Yeah, I would agree too. And I guess I'm more in the, you know, Matt's a bigger dog than me in the racing world, that's for sure. But I think, you know, I'm going to go race a lot of 530 stuff with this, and
sure.
No time 530 little gangsters is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Why? We know it's going to go 530. That's the stupidest thing on the planet. That is, as like Matt said, as a spectator, I want to see if you broke out at a 5:29.99 and the other guy ran a 3:01 or something, you know. So like that I don't understand that part. So I mean, I kind of get it. Like I said, I get what Matt's coming from. Where on the bigger dog stuff, like I get why they do it, but I don't know. I'll say something about the little gangsters class, and that's dumb.
Yeah,
I agree.
What about you, Greg?
Yeah, I'm clocks on. Basically, Matt, you know, said exactly what I would say. And I was looking to fill in some holes in the race schedule this next year. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a Clash of Titans series that also does a 10-5 tire.
Dave Vassar deal.
Yeah, and they're you know, and that's more down in Texas, and they probably got more of these grudge races and that kind of thing down there that care about it. but their clock's off, their NT on that class, that I'm probably going to run a couple of races in this year. And I mean, it doesn't, as a racer, I don't care, but I just think it sucks for the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to give it a little perspective, that, like, you know, I'm pretty new to racing, and when I didn't race, if I was just a spectator, I have no idea how fast that car is going. I'm just like, oh wow, that's fast. Like, you have no. Now that I race, I can be like, yeah, I pretty well know about what that was, but it's a little different when you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you have something?
Oh, I was just there's also a thing where a lot of clocks off races, you don't get time slips.
Okay.
That's crazy to me. Even as a racer, I mean, I like to know what it ran. I mean, I get some like grudge stuff, and that's a whole nother world. But yeah, it's just wild to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you got a speed sensor and everything, you can almost, you know, pretty damn close. You know, I don't know about
Draggy
apps.
Yeah, Draggy.
But you know, I guess you can do that. But I agree. It's just, I don't know. You know, and I guess these guys, these big time guys that are, you know, don't want their time shown. You know, I get that, but you know, I just think it's a bad deal for the fans. But I guess if it's an all out, no prep, no time race, maybe it's a bit of a different environment, and people kind of expect that. But you know, when you've got this mix of classes, and you know, some of them have times and some of them don't. You got fans looking around, wondering what the hell's going on, and
Yeah.
you know, I just think it's a bad experience. That's my opinion. Nobody cares what my opinion is, but that's
The other reason we brought it up is because like I said, the Winter Series, the first event, they were clocks off, and I think they're coming back with clocks on, and so that's just kind of been the word around social media a little bit. So yeah, just
I had these pictures set up when it was just going to be me and Rodney talking, but we saved this. But Michael Pollan here on the bottom of this quote, he says, "We knew the numbers. The racers all knew the numbers. The only people that didn't were the fans, and we have to give them that insight. Turning the boards on lets everyone see just how fast this class really is."
That's it.
So yeah, that's gonna be exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you guys in one of your next shows, you should have a little session like this on the, you know, that we've gone over it a million times, but the whole small tire radial prep versus, you know, there seems to be a little bit of a trend going to a 10.5 slick. You know, and I'm okay, but you know, who wants to change tires, especially after Matt put these 13-inch wide wheels on my car? Who wants to be changing those damn tires out? You know, in one race, and then you got to change the whole suspension up and all that. But
shocks.
I just wonder if, you know, because like Flying H doesn't seem to want to do the radial prep, and they got some small tire stuff and some others. So I'm just curious, I guess. So maybe it'd be a good one for a later show.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
I do like tuning a slick. I mean, racing a slick is fun. It's challenging. You know, radial, it's if it goes or it doesn't. There's no there's no tire slip. So tuning, it's fun. It's just it is a challenge.
Yeah. I think with that new tire too, with the liner, that's going to be a little helper.
Yeah,
this year.
Till they make a rule against it.
Yeah. Maybe at the end of the month after that next race.
Yeah. No, very cool.
It'll only be for small block Gen 3 Hemis, though.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, I just want to talk on a little bit and get your guys' perspective as well, since everyone races here. So good conversation.
Yeah.
You know, and I do think, you know, like you said, the trend, you know, now we're, you know, back before radial racing at all, it was all about the 10.5-inch slick. And then we got into the, you know, radials, even with the BFGs back in the 90s or 2000s. And you know, it came hardcore prep. And these tires are just getting so much better. And the shocks and the converter tunability is just incredible. And then, but you also see this phase where it's starting to go a little bit the slick way. It gives everybody a lot of options, you know, like one of our sponsors, JR, told me the other day, he goes, there's plenty to do. You can just decide where to go and what tire you want to race and where you want to be at. So plenty to do. But yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on. It's a great show.
Absolutely.
All right.
Just a couple questions.
Just one more thing. I just want to give one more thanks to MRC and Andrew and Matt and Mark and his whole crew over there for building this badass car for me.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can get it out on the track this year and we'll see what it can do. But it is a beautiful race car, and it's way beyond anything that I could build, which is why I took it there. So I appreciate it. I know, it's a long bit of a grind sometimes on a long build like that, but I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you.
Likewise. That's, we wouldn't be able to do anything that we do without the opportunity that customers give us to be able to do it. So I think that's why we do take a lot of pride in what we do, and why I kind of focus on the little things. And like you said, maybe overthink or overcomplicate some things, is because, we do truly care. So I'm proud that you're really happy with it, because I think it turned out really bitchin'. I'll be proud of it.
Nice. Yeah. And Greg, actually, I want to hand the mic to you. Anybody else you want to thank besides MRC, any sponsors or just people that support you, family?
Well, always the wife. My wife, she does so much in the background. You hardly ever see her out there, but she does everything from making the lists to make sure I don't forget all my crap before I leave the house to making sure I marked everything off my list. She does everything from take care of our grandson while I'm out there racing to preparing the food. She drives the push car. She lines me up when I don't have somebody else to do it. She just does so much, and just, supporting the racing thing, it's a big commitment, as we all know. It's somebody said it best. I can remember exactly how it was worded, but it's a bit of an obsession, right? And so your spouse, to go along with that and support you on that, to me, that's a huge deal. So a big shout out to my wife, Cheryl. And then my son, Gary, he's been my crew chief and pit guy ever since I started this thing. He's done everything from wiring fuel pumps in the pits to, tearing the engine apart to figure out what the hell's going on, to right now he's been out there helping me paint this chassis. I can't thank him enough. And my daughter, she's been out of town and hasn't been able to be around as much, Sydney, but when she is, she helps out as well. And then the last season that I raced, Becca Miller she did a lot doing the lineup duty. So a shout out to her. And Chris Lovett over at Wichita Dyno. I kind of talked a little bit about, sort of what we do there. He helps me a lot with the tuning. And in addition to doing the base tunes and everything, I've given him numerous phone calls, to help me with something. And he always answers, and he's always ready to help. And so I appreciate Chris a bunch on that. Best Racing Engines. We had the kind of a weird deal with that first block, but no, it's not their fault. It's just, they were trying out some new stuff. And when you're, in this level of racing, when you try new stuff's going to break. That's how you figure it out. And they got me onto the billet block, and it's really been a pretty good path since then, on the engine. So I appreciate that a bunch. And you guys, you too, because, there right before you guys started doing this podcast, I was, I call him Gary with an I and Gary with a Y, the two Garys with the track. And I'm kind of passionate about the small tire thing, and I was always giving my 2 cents to them, whether they wanted to hear it or not. And they were always patient with me. And I was thinking, man, what can we do to get some more focus on this small tire in this region? And then right after that, you guys came out with the podcast, which I think has been awesome. So I'm sure that I probably missed somebody in there, but yeah, it takes a lot of people to do this, and I appreciate everybody's help.
Awesome.
Well said. Well, we
before we let you guys go, Matt, you've won a Titans race in a couple years ago, probably, right? You going to think about running Titans again sometime?
I think so. I got to decide what I think. Dragon drives, that's what we're going to focus on mostly, but sure. I got to pick some local stuff. Like traveling's hard. I got 2 kids and obviously the business. So traveling is super hard for us. But so mostly be local races. I like to do Titans and just where time allows. But all these local stuff popping up has been awesome, and it seems like car counts are doing pretty well too.
Right. Are you in Missouri, like over by St. Louis area ish?
Yeah, I'm about an hour. We're about an hour west of St. Louis. The shop's probably about 45 minutes north of St. Louis.
Oh, okay. You're within reach of Flying H then, pretty easy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can just jump on 70 and be right down there in about 2 hours.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, Titans is going there. What, June, right? Sometime. May? No. Yeah, May 29th and 30th.
They've also got that 25K race there, I think, right? I think it's a weekend after the Centerville Titans race, if I'm correct.
Yep, they do. King of KC the limited class that we watch is I think it's 5,000 to win type of deal, but keep our eye on that. Yeah. Awesome. Well, what do you think, Rod?
Ready to wrap it up? You got anything else to ask?
I don't.
All right.
We got all through the pictures and
Andrew coming on and talking about the bill with MRC, and Greg, of course, coming on as well. The timing worked perfect, and the first one of the year, just fantastic. Thanks for kicking us off. So a lot of great pictures, and great stories, and appreciate your time. Sorry it took a little bit in the green room, to get going, bring you guys up, but fantastic show.
Yeah,
right.
Matt, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Matt and Andrew, thanks for your time, and Greg, you too, and can't wait to see your car out, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.
Definitely. See you guys.
See you later. Good night.
Yep. See ya.
Man,
that
was awesome first show.
Great show. I'm so excited to hear what the final weight loss will be. You know what I mean? That little thing we're playing with. And I'm just
we'll have to dig. Maybe I hope Greg
he's got it written down. I think you mentioned that before. And I
hope he was tracking that.
700-800 pounds, I bet you. So
man,
it's going to be
because that was during a show that came up, and I don't even remember which one it was.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, he mentioned when they were driving back with his boy, and his son said, man, Dad, everybody's under 30 there. I just thought about that. I took that as such a compliment for that shot, and just being able to be the lead fabricator, and Andrew, I built that car, the whole deal. It ain't like you just put a little cage in it, or he mini tubbed it. I mean, the whole deal. That's just incredible. Just incredible. But
I came to Wichita when I was 35, so that whole period before that, I would have loved to have been in my 20s or early 30s doing that kind of work in a shop like that. Yeah. But I fell into the aircraft side, with what I'm doing now. But that's the stuff I wanted to do back then when I was in my 20s and early 30s, and doing on the side in the garage. But that's
got a great system. They were talking about their Monday meetings, their Friday report outs, the build throughout, keeping them busy, keeping everybody on a build. They got a couple of people that, are doing the look aheads to get parts coming in and managing the phones and that sort of thing. I mean, it sounds like a nice little way to run a business. We'll probably have to get MRC back in here, at another time and dive deeper into that and their layout and how many bays, how many bills they got going. Do they do, hey, can I just do rear end? Can you just come in and do, other little things, make some headers, so, but yeah.
Yeah. And go to the left of that. Where and how did MRC start?
Right. Did they just start like you did? You hanging some subframes, right? I remember you telling me those stories.
Yep. Cheap, man.
Yeah.
Cheap. And cheap labor, man. Terrible.
Just got to start somewhere. They were in some garage, somewhere, single garage, dual garage, whatever. All their stuff was outside, and then they got a little building somewhere, and how it is. They just keep adding. Got an employee, got another employee. It's just great that that small business entrepreneurship is alive and well. It's just more hear about tracks being open and more vendors doing their things. That just helps these chassis shops to keep going.
Yep. Makes people want to go spend their money and more upgrades and buy the next best part. And it's just it's a continuing cycle. It's great.
Yeah.
They're great for the industry.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of classes like coming out and talking to, from all the way left, all the way to how much money do you have? So just get in where you fit in and get that build. He's, Greg's got a class he wants to run plus some local stuff, and it's going to be awesome. So I see that car in person.
Yep. Yeah. I can't wait too. We'll see it hopefully soon. He's shooting for Centerville, right?
Yeah. That's what he said. That's coming around the corner.
We'll see it.
Yeah.
Maybe
all right,
we'll see it.
Call it?
Yep. Let's give our partners a shout out again. Special thanks to these 2026 partners: Titans of 10.5, the fastest small tire series in the Midwest; CMB, Chuck's Metal Buildings and Construction; Harry Street Carpet; Ozark Raceway; Mobile Recon Mobile Detailing; Ultra Color Collision Repair; TNS Race Cars; and Sandlin Iron and Metal Auto Salvage. Thank you to these awesome partners for kicking off the year 2026. Thank you so much.
Great
It's going to
kickoff
be a great
show.
year. Woo.
Yeah, no kidding. It's going to go by just as fast as the last one did, right?
Oh, no kidding. It will.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it'll be fast. There's Doug Perry. Great show, guys. Thanks, Doug, again, for hanging out with us on a Sunday night instead of watching the Emmys or whatever Golden Globes that Jim was watching.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right. You ready to
high five it? First one of the year?
Go back to work tomorrow. Let's find it here. All right. Ready?
Yep. Nice.
All right. Let's go to work.
Have a good night. Thanks, everyone.
Good night, Rod.
Good night, Gary.
Good night. See you later.